Alright. Apparently this is overloading my encoder. Nice. Well, anyways, so I'm recording this pretty much after stream. So I played Scott program with friends, and figured I should probably do this since I got time, and for now everything is quiet. And I really wanted to have this somewhat finished, at least as part of somewhat narration and visual. Oh, well, tier list. Wow, the highest form of content. Tier list. Well, this is actually somewhat because it was thought out sort of thing. You can see here, these are all me things that I streamed this year. I don't have a script for this, so this will be probably a lot of rambling, a lot of babbling, a lot of you know, you've been around, you've heard my ramblings. This will be a long form video of that. Try to have maybe some gameplay of whatever I'm talking about and try to see what I could do. But yeah, once again, this is all the games I played in 2021, which I believe was not only games, but sort of like things like events. You see it in the February Nintendo Direct this year, E3, Data Play. I might have to pause here and there to figure out what sorts of things were shown at certain events. I would rank them. I mean, ranking doesn't really matter. The main point of all this is me talking about the sort of games that you know, not been shown, because I do know that throughout the year here, clips did happen in a lot of these, especially Warzone. Warzone's a pretty big thing for clips. But there were some games I played on here I really liked, like Berserk and Symphony of the Night, Metroid Dread. No, I think Dread. I think I put 2 clips in there in the year in review. What's there? I guess Kirby 64. You know, Live Alive. I had a clip actually, but there was a lot of things that kind of just you wouldn't know I played unless I made a video talking about it. I have all these laid out. In a sort of way that I understand. I have a list so I could name it and say what dates I streamed them. So that's enough spiel. Wow, it takes 3 minutes for me to get into the video. Wow, I'm a real content creator. Well, let's see. So the first thing on the list is Minecraft Feed the Beast Revelations. Now the thing is, or was it Revelation? I'm about to ask. But the thing is that I stopped playing this right on the first day of the new year. Feed the Beast Revelation was a pretty massive mod pack. It was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of machines. There was a lot of good stuff in there. I stopped playing around the time in which I finished a single line for a train. Or it was a diesel electric engine or whatever. I finished one line, a whole line, and I stopped playing because upkeeping that stuff was really annoying. And literally for the first 2 weeks, I focused on solar panels, which in that mod pack was really useful towards the end. It was just more the fact that it ended up me staring at a furnace or whatever for like 4 hours just to get like one good solar panel. I skipped out a lot of adventuring stuff that I probably should have, you know, been a part of. I did a lot of building. I think, you know, the first week was me making the basin. I was really proud of making that ravine into something presentable. And yeah, it was pretty fun. Put that right there for now. Yeah. Stop that, Jan first. The second game I did was Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, which was from January 2nd to the 17th. Now these are upload dates. These are not very accurate to what days I streamed them, so yeah, I might have finished this like a day, like on New Year's or whatever. Just saying, get carried into 2021. Yeah, Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. I really like this game. I had a rocky start with it because of the fact I played it off of Dolphin, and for those that have used Wiimotes with Bluetooth on Dolphin, know how janky it could be setting that up. I had a really nice HD texture pack with it. It made the game look really nice, upscaled. but I had a lot of issues with it. It would crash a lot. I think it was on the steampunk planet, the steampunk place. I think I did like the boss, and then the game would always just crash. It felt really unstable, and so I booted up my Wii U, and the first time in a long time. First time got that hooked up into the HDMI, and I played the trilogy for that. And Prime 2 was pretty good. It was a really good Metroid game. Probably not the best out of the Prime series, I'd say. Nostalgia-wise, I like the first one because that's what I played growing up. But Prime 2 Echoes, really good. That was a really good game. Even if there was a lot of backtracking, it was pretty fun. And this is like, you know, third favorite Prime game. And yeah, I'll put that right there. Next game, One Piece Romance Dawn. Actually, this was a one-off. This was January 2nd. I saw that this game was on a PSP. It was a Japanese only, and then I saw that this game also released on 3DS in English, so I wanted to check it out. I was pretty disappointed in the cutscenes because everything was a slideshow, which, you know, I probably get it. It probably would have been too much to ask for to have 240p video on a 3DS, you know, having all the anime cutscenes being there. But they made totally animated a new intro for this game, which looked really nice. So I'd hope the rest of the cutscenes was like that. Maybe some of them are, maybe for the key moments they are. But on that, the cutscenes were like 10-15 minute long slideshows, and there's no voice acting. At the very least, I would have liked voice acting, but you had to read all that to yourself. Maybe on Citro was glitched. Who knows? Actually, it was towards the end. Once I got into the game, the textures were warped, and I think the game crashed, and I was like, yeah, it's good for me. The combat was interesting though. That was probably the best thing about the game. When I looked at reviews, that was literally like the key thing everybody talked about, was that the combat was a very interesting high point about the game. It was completely average. I might come back to it, I don't know. I'll see. Maybe the PSP version is better in some regards than the 3DS one. Who knows? I don't know. So after Romance Dawn was DK64. This was a special ROM hack that people voted for me to play. That allowed you to switch Kongs on a D-pad. Which, now that I did this game, was 102%. Using that hack. I did that in about less than 30 hours, I believe. Very easily would have been double that playtime that I had to switch with Kong barrels, and I'm actually very thankful that people voted on that hack, because DK64 102%. A little bit of CBT at times. It's a very fun game. I love this game. I played this game growing up. I never beat it until I played it on stream. But some aspects of the game are pretty tough and a bit too much for what it is. I think the consensus that a lot of people would agree on is that the game is a bit too large. It's a bit of a Banjo-Tooie on steroids sort of thing. And Banjo-Tooie is already, in some aspects for people, flawed because it is too large. But I liked it. I put it right there. But that was, I didn't say it. It was January 6th to January 14th, so it was about a week. About a week of me playing this game. Afterwards, I revisited Monster Hunter Double Cross, which was Jan 16th to February 25th, May 13th, and May 23rd. I should revisit this game. Like, it feels like every sort of like Monster Hunter drought I come back to Double Cross or Gen U. But this was my Double Cross file is a strictly single-player focused playthrough. But I think was around this time I found out that there was FOV hacks, and that helped a lot. I'm hoping in the future when I come back to this game that Citra will be updated enough that I don't need to use the RASP build, so I could take advantage of the touchscreen buttons. That'd be really nice for Hunter Arts. That'd be really nice for Hunter Arts. But Double Cross is still Gen U. I love that game. Probably one of my favorite Monster Hunters, just because of how much there is, and doing everything in the guild, which there's a running theme of CBT, isn't there? There's a lot of pain, especially I think I left off on the arena hypers. And it's part the reason why I am not looking forward to coming back. Maybe off stream I could upgrade some weapons so that I'd have an easier time with that. I don't know. But let's see. After that was the Trials of Mana remake, which I played from January 19th to January 27th. I did a 12-hour stream that included Trials of Mana on the... What did it say? March 17th. I did a 12-hour stream. I did the post-game stuff. Trials of Mana, I bought a lot of PS4 games last year in 2020 around my birthday. Just kind of in general, I bought a lot of games over the summer. And Trials of Mana was a part of my birthday batch, I believe. And I played the PS4 version. That game ran pretty well on the PS4 Pro. I'm not sure how it runs on the stock PS4. But even then, I heard, even on Switch, it runs pretty well. It's just the fact that, you know, it's a Switch, so the resolution gets lowered a lot. The game was smooth. The combat was pretty fun. I've been taking a liking to action RPGs because of me trying out 7 Remake and games like Ys. Was it Ys? It's one with the Y and then Y7, E7. I played that on PSP. I like that game. Might stream that. Might stream the entire series one day. TM. But yeah, Trials of Mana had really good music. I really liked the characters. The voice acting was cheesy, but that gave it some charm. I could have played the game in Japanese, but I kept it. I usually, when it's just voice acting, I usually keep it default unless it's like really bad. But you'll see that once I go along here, that I really don't mind. I find that a bit of a charm. And the post game stuff is pretty fun. I like that. So I'll put that above there. Okay. Then starting on January 29th to the February 14th, the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. This was the sort of like start of me using my Wii U a lot more this year. My Wii U got a lot of mileage this year. More than other years. It stopped being a strictly Monster Hunter machine. Which is good. It's nice when you go out of your comfort zone and play other games that isn't just Monster Hunter. But I say that when I literally just played majority Kirby. Anyways, this was the first time I played Twilight Princess. I did see playthroughs of it. I did see my friend Lumber play Twilight Princess. Was it back in 2019? Oh gosh. But I saw like a couple temples when he played it. I saw the part of the final boss. I could cheese Gaiden with, spoiler alert, could cheese him with the fishing rod. That distracts him. I did not do that when I fought him. I fought him the legit way. It's a tough fight, good fight, really good game. I know the HD version lessened some of the parts and made them less annoying. Maybe you had to collect the tiers to progress with the game. They lowered the amount of that, kind of like how they did with Wind Waker HD. They lowered the amount of Triforce pieces you had to buy from Tingle. So there was a lot of good quality of life. The game looked really nice on the Wii U. I'm sure it probably looks a lot better through Dolphin with HD texture pack and, you know, all that fun stuff. But Twilight Princess HD was the first Wii U game that I played that I had to have my Wii U tablet plugged in because the battery was just completely dead. Didn't happen with 3 Ultimate ever. It didn't happen with Wind Waker HD. And it shows how much I did not want to stop playing this game. The dungeons are pretty nice. Weapons, items were excellent. Like I would say, Twilight Princess is the perfect Ocarina of Time sequel. I should probably get a lot more love. I would love for this game to be ported to the Switch one day alongside with Wind Waker. Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda, but this year has really challenged that title, honestly. So, Twilight Princess HD, really good. I'd replay that randomized. That's how much I loved it. I would just probably replay it casually. Such a good game. I would have loved to 100% that one day. So going off from like a masterpiece to Warzone. Warzone Season 2 streamed that from February 2nd to February 22. Warzone had a pretty strong pull on me for, I would say, the first half of the year, and then I just kind of dropped most Battle Royales and stuck to strictly single-player games for a lot of the year. And when I did play multi, it was usually Battle Royale, so Warzone Season 2, literally all the seasons meld together. This will be the best way I'll describe all the seasons. They just meld together. I cannot tell you that Season 2 versus Season 3 other than, oh, you just play the FFAR meta. Just use the the Uzi meta, you know, the submachine gun meta. And, it's good fun, but at the end of the day, it's COD. It's free to play. The only price you pay is 100 gigs on your hard drive. There are a lot of good memories with this game. I only put in like $2 into the game so I could buy the battle pass. The main nails on the coffin that as things went along here, they made getting the battle pass for free really tough, and that made it tough for me to continue playing because I liked the idea of grinding out a game, not a whole ton, putting in enough effort that you get the next battle pass for free. But obviously, you know, that's not how you make money. Make it harder so that the free-to-play people get urged to put in money so that they buy the battle pass and continue playing. And that sort of playstyle really did not meld with me, and the game was just getting boring. You could probably tell my friend Miggy, aka Ice Rover, he would have been like, oh, the map hasn't changed, meanwhile Apex, and even he hasn't been very positive about Apex. I get traded this year and I didn't like it, really. Not really my sort of battle royale. Shooting felt nice, combat felt nice, but just, I like Warzone better. And even then, Warzone is sort of something I want to keep on a shelf until something major changes, but it appears that Warzone will be piggybacking off every Call of Duty now. So, I don't know. So, let's see. Then I played One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. That was from February 16th to February 26th. The Pirate Warriors games are immensely fun. I would recommend the third game wholeheartedly for people that are One Piece fans or even people who don't know the story. Since I think 3 recounts everything pretty well and has pretty fun gameplay. One Piece Pirate Warriors 1 to 3, the gameplay doesn't really change. I think the combat just gets more and more fluid. Pirate Warriors 4 changed that, in which you had to like do a break on every enemy, then you're able to do damage. So that was fun figuring out the combo to try to like break an enemy and just do all that, you know, specials and all that. Ended up being, okay, well that's a combo, so break, do damage, break, do damage, break, do damage. Which didn't really change until the game got really hard towards the end. The game got immensely hard. I think I was playing on hard mode and up till Whole Cake Island, and then I had to switch back to normal because everything was just way too difficult. The missions were getting very long for me. Maybe that was because I was rushing through the game or playing at my usual pace, which isn't grinding up the characters. Like, I get a feeling you're supposed to grind up everybody to make them strong, so you get all the combos and you get all the stickers and what have you to get all the stats up, and that was not how I was playing the game. I was playing it episodically, not grinding out anything. So that probably made the game tougher on me. But these games have a lot of replayability, so if I were to come back, I'll probably play as the other characters. Oh yeah, that's another thing to talk about. This game got a lot of extra DLC. Like, there was, as characters were revealed for Wano, the latest arc, a lot of characters became playable, like Odin, I think Kiku was one of them, I'm not sure, a lot of others from the top of my head. But this game had a lot of playable characters, and they were very fun to play as. So, good Pirate Warriors game. Probably not the best, but it's good fun. If you buy it for cheap on any platform, I would recommend it. For One Piece fans alike or not, it's a good Warriors game. Would recommend. Okay, so this is a part in which I'll probably have to pause and look at what happened, because this is the Nintendo Direct of February 18th. You know, it says 17th there, but of course the VOD was uploaded the day afterwards. So let me pause and I'll see what was released there. Okay, I brought up the Nintendo Direct page, which shows all the main things that were shown at the February 17th Direct. So the first thing's off, Splatoon 3. I don't play Splatoon. I don't really care, honestly. The thing after that was shown was Pyra Mythra going into Smash. Now that was a fun day for for Twitter, for artists and haters and likers and everything in between. There's a lot of chaos on Twitter. There's usually a lot of fun chaos on Twitter whenever there's Smash news, be it good or bad. I think the only ones that have been like mainly good was the Banjo reveal. Just for me, I think only Solari was upset that Banjo was in Smash, but so many people are so happy about Banjo. I was happy about Banjo, and I don't even play Smash anymore. I only played Smash for like a couple months after I got it for Christmas. It was in 2019, 2018. And that was about it. I still have it. I'm probably super horrible at it. Maybe I have some muscle memory. I don't know. I'm not good at any tech in that game. But Pyra and Mythra getting into Smash was pretty cool. Because it was a new sort of like double fighter, sort of like Sheik, but a new sort of take on it. And the main downside of that was that got people to buy up Xenoblade 2 and buy up the DLC. So before you could get both of those things, probably pretty cheap, but the games were not reprinted afterwards. So since then, I looked and looked for a copy of Xenoblade 2, and I was very fortunate and got a brand new sealed copy for like $50, shipped straight from Puerto Rico. And I have that on my shelf. I'm very happy about that. I have not bought the DLC. I probably should have when it was on sale during Black Friday. I just forgot. It just left my mind. But I look forward to playing Xenoblade 2. And the reveal in Smash Ultimate was probably something that made a lot of people happy. So that was pretty good. Monster Hunter Rise was... more Rise stuff was featured at this Direct. I don't think that... No. Yeah, I think Rise was shown in 2020. And released in 2021 in March. So this was just a new trailer for Rise. I think the spider was shown. It's showing the thumbnail of the spider. I forgot her name. But showing that on there. Rise news always made me excited. I think I was playing during the weapon reveals back in December, November of 2020. I would show those trailers while playing Animal Crossing. Those were fun times. I love seeing those. It's kind of live because I'll see them like fresh out of the press. I'll watch them in Japanese, and I could probably like, make some sense of it. And of course, you know, we rise to the challenge. Rise to the challenge. It was fun. I love that game. Looking forward to playing it on PC. And was it less than 2 weeks? Mario Golf. Was it Super Rush? Is that the name of it? I forgot the name. Yeah, Super Rush. That was revealed at this Nintendo Direct. I think the consensus is that Super Rush is a really good Mario Golf game, but it's being overshadowed by the fact that a much better game exists in the series, and that is the one on the GameCube. Very good that the game got updated as the game went on, but people were obviously very salty, saying that they were given an incomplete game that became complete very recently with the final update. But at least they were free, you know. That's the one nice thing about it. They seemed interesting. I might play that game if it becomes cheap. It's a Mario game. It probably won't. Cheapest it'll probably get like 40 or 50 bucks. Who knows? Let's see. A new tactical RPG. What was it? Does it go straight to the video? Oh gosh, it's loud. This was I want to see the title of it. It was a Square Enix, yeah, Project Triangle Strategy working title, which might end up being the full title because you know how Square Enix is. And tactical RPGs, there's a lot of them. There's so many tactical RPGs I want to try, but just it's such a time sink. I guess I'll keep my ear to the ground to see what people think about it. I know the demo came out, and I know from the demo people have critique. I know the development team took that critique to heart and are working on fixing the game for release. I forgot when that's coming out. Let me check something real quick. Oh, okay. So I thought Project Triangle Strategy is coming out. It is not. As a release date of March 4th, 2022. So I'll keep my ear to the ground and see what people think about that. But for now, I'm not very interested in that. Maybe if it's good, I'll be like, oh hey, I guess I'll get that once it's cheap. The next thing revealed was Skyward Sword HD. which this game was in a lot of leaks, supposed leaks, for many years, saying that Nintendo was going to port this game. I think more drive or predictions pooled around because of the fact around this time, because of the fact that there was the 3D collection in which Nintendo natively ported, pretty much ported Mario Galaxy to the Switch. So I guess they use a similar sort of technology to get Skyward Sword in. I saw Vinny play this game. It looked really good. I really liked the fact that it was a 60 FPS. People were salty, I included was salty, when I found out that you needed a $25 amiibo to use fast travel. But once I saw Vinny playing it, once he even got the amiibo, he didn't even use it. Because of the fact that the teleport to the sky spots are pretty close together. And it's a bit of a superfluous sort of addition. But it still should not have been locked to a $25 amiibo. I get it, the amiibo looked cute or whatever, it was 2 figures in one pretty much. But come on, 25 bucks? Let's see, Fall Guys to Switch. Fall Guys is dead. The Outer Wilds on Switch. Pretty impressive that this game is on Switch, portably. I saw Vinny play it. So this whole story thing is kind of spoiled for me. I could wipe my memory of any game I've seen so I could stream it one day. It'll be the Outer Wilds and it'll be Undertale. Those 2 things I wish I could wipe my memory clean of, so I could go into those 2 things blind. But sadly, I can't do that. There were some NES Detective Stories on Switch. Dynasty Warriors, no, Samurai Warriors? Yeah, Legend of Mana. Okay, now this I'm interested in. I know there's a physical release. I think it was on PlayAsia only. I wonder how much this costs. Let me do a quick eBay search. Legend of Mana, 50 bucks. There's not a lot of them. Why is Collection of Mana so expensive now? What the heck? Yeah, I guess I should probably snag a copy soon. Because these prices are going up in price. That is not good. Why is Trials of Mana so expensive now? Oh, it's 20 bucks. Trials of Mana is a really good game. But I already talked about that. Oh yeah, Collection of Mana is going up in price. I got that for 10 bucks. I'm happy with that. Anyways, I'm not talking about that right now. But yeah, Legend of Mana, I want to look into that. I want to play that one day. Just, I guess I have to buy the game at one point before they go out of print. So, there's a lot of other games. I think Deltarune, shown, whatever. No More Heroes 3 stuff. I thought that game already came out, but I guess it didn't. No More Heroes looks interesting. I might play those games one day. Oh yeah, the game did come out. I saw footage. I hope that game comes out under consoles. I hope it runs better on emulation. Because, performance in that game? Ouch. If the entire game is like that. If it's just certain parts in the game that are like low FPS, and it's fine, whatever. But from what I've seen of it, it looks rough. That's how I'll say. Neon White, looks alright. I like the character designs. The internet really liked character designs. DC Superhero Girls, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, Utopia. I looked forward to that game. I bought that game. I streamed it. I'll talk about it later. Utopia on 3DS, I watched Vinny play many years ago. It's sad that he didn't want to replay this game, but understandable since he already did it. And Utopia is kind of a game that is best played when it's blind, so you don't know what's going to happen because of all the low random stuff, and you know he's already been shocked by the turkey and all that fun stuff. So I understand it. But when I played it, I had a fun time. But I'll talk more about that later, since that is in the list. Mario stuff was added to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think I recently bought that stuff in the game once I came back to Animal Crossing earlier in November. Star Wars Hunters, Knockout City, Road's End Club, Hades on Switch. I know a lot of people have been bugging me to play Hades. The Ninja Gaiden collection. I want to play this. I'm not sure if it'll be on Switch. Actually, I think it's only on Switch. I think physically it's another PlayStation. Why is all the cool physical releases like only like not in NA? It really annoys the crap out of me. But I do want to play these at one point. So yeah. Age of Calamity DLC. I didn't even play stock Age of Calamity. I watch Vinny play it. It's a theme with a lot of games I don't buy. I just watch Vinny play it. More games on Switch. Oh yeah, this is when the Monster Hunter Rise Deluxe Switch was revealed, I think. Was it? I don't know. Bravely Default 2. I think I bought that game. I need to play Bravely Default 1 and Bravely 2nd at one point. Oh yeah, this was shown at the Capcom Direct, I believe, last year. But the Ghosts and Goblins game, I saw Vinny play that. That was also a lot of CBT. I probably would not play that on my own. Sega Frontier. That seemed interesting. There were a lot of PS1 games coming to Switch. Which, this game looked interesting. I might play that one day. I'm not sure if there's a physical release of that. Oh yeah, Apex Legends on Switch. That was the Nintendo Direct, February 17th, 2021. Good Direct. Saw Rise stuff. I liked it. Good Direct. It was like the first one in like, what was it, nearly a year, so it was due. It was due. So around this time, I got, was it 400 followers? So I did a celebration of that. And the way I celebrated, quote unquote, was playing Metroid Other M in a single sit down for the 12-hour stream. I think I beat the game within 9-10 hours, something like that. And then the rest of the time I played something else. I don't remember what the other game was. It was probably Warzone, it's probably something else. But Other M, got my Wii U up for that. And that game is blister inducing on my thumb. It was really bad towards the very end, and my thumb was sore. The game is fine. It is not good, but it's not bad. It's just fine. The story is meme-worthy, but the game isn't entirely horrible. There are some things and some features, like the endless missiles that, you know, it's kind of, what's the point of having missile drops? And I don't think there was drops of that. Just kind of made me wish that it was a actual Metroid game and not that. Like, it could have, Metroid Other M was like an early Metroid. If that game came before Prime, be like, oh yeah, it's just an old Metroid game. It's fine. They were just getting their footings for Samus's sort of personality. But no, this was after the trilogy. This was after we've been with Samus for like nearly 30 years, and she just regresses horribly. Gameplay is fine. There's some weird difficulty spikes. This game is very linear. This game is good if it's your first Metroid game. If you are afraid of Metroidvanias, this is decent. But if you are a verse Metroid fan, you like Super Metroid, you like Zero Mission, of course you're not gonna like this game. You're gonna say it's bad. A lot of people that played the good Metroid games are gonna say it's bad, but it's perfectly average. You know, that 12-hour stream is uploaded February 27th. Now from February 28th to March 1st, actually, and March 1st, I played Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Anytime I played something that wasn't Warzone, I played the Zombies game mode. So Cold War Zombies was fun. Probably the best thing about playing Zombies is that there is always an XP campaign. So you play Zombies and you level up the crap out of your guns. So people use this to level up the crap out of the FFAR. So when you came back to regular Warzone, you would just melt everybody, because that was just the meta. But yeah, Zombies was pretty fun. I didn't play the actual Cold War part of the game, because I had my fill when I played, what was it, Black Ops 4? Which is to say, I didn't really like it. So around this time, Earthbound, I decided to replay Earthbound because this was around my anniversary. Was it 4th year streaming or 3rd? I forgot. The years go by. Everything else good. I think speaking, 2018, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it was 4. This is 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah, 4th year. This next year will be 5, I count 2018. So, after number 4, a lot. So like, oh, I'll make this year special and I'll replay one of my favorite games of all time. And it was Earthbound. I do want to do a replay of Under 3 at one point. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll be next year. I don't know if it'll be the year afterwards. But I'll see. I'll pick a good time in which it'll be good for me to revisit that game. Probably play it in hard mode. But Earthbound, it was a rocky start. Because I think around this time, I felt pretty burnt out. I usually feel a bit burnt out after a 12-hour stream. And as much as I love Earthbound, I had a lot of issues playing the game again because of the fact I really wanted to play it off my SNES Classic like I had did during my first playthrough. But stupid Elgato drivers didn't work. I stopped using OBS audio, or like piping audio to OBS for capture cards because I would introduce a second of lag after a couple of minutes, and I hated that immensely. I don't like it when audio is delayed, not even by like a tiny bit, and that annoys me when I notice it. The only way to fix that was, turning it off, deactivating the source and reactivating it every couple minutes, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I think it would have to be reset, which, for an RPG, that is really annoying, especially annoying if it's an action game. And I remember doing that for Jak and Daxter a lot, and that was really annoying. So I was happy when I found a solution, and that was not done right here. I think I did it afterwards. I forgot what game I played exactly that forced me to use the solution. But, okay, I think I see it, but I'll talk about that when I get to that. So my SNES Classic did not work with the Elgato Capture software, because I used that for audio, so I got a different solution, which I did not discover until Vinny had a similar issue with audio, and then I looked into it, and I'll talk about that later. So once again, Wii U to the rescue. I used my Wii U, that worked with Elgato software, so I used that to play the game. I think I had my Wiimote connected to the SNES Classic controller, so it was pretty much the same experience. Like, the pixels may have been softer on the capture, but it's fine. It's whatever. Every play Earthbound went pretty smoothly. I had used my previous knowledge of when I first played it to make the game a bit more easier on myself. Which was getting like Prince Pooh's items, which maybe next time I play it, I'll try to get I'll get his weapon. Because if you progress enough in the game, you don't get a chance to go back and get it. So I might change that in the future. Even though it's like a 1% drop or something. But Earthbound is still one of my favorite games of all time. So up you go. That was it took 4 days for me to beat that game. It did not take very long. Where's the 5? March 4th to March 8th. I replayed Earthbound for my first 4th year anniversary. Alright, I took a quick break to drink some tea, but we are back. I think it's been nearly 40 minutes of me just talking. I expected this much. But yeah, after Earthbound, I started my year goal game, my yearly series game that I want to begin. And this year, I had chosen the Kirby series. I wanted to replay, well, some is free play, but some is for the first time playing through the games. And where better to start than Kirby's Dreamland 1. I actually played both Dreamland 1 and 2 in the same stream. Because they're very short Game Boy games, and I decided I could just do both. I think I literally finished Dreamland 1 in like 20 minutes. And the rest of the stream is like 3 hours of Dreamland 2. 20% of that game. Yeah, Dreamland 1 is more of an arcade game. It's pretty fun. It shows the beginnings of Kirby. It is aged okay, I would say. Recommend it for people who like platformers and who just likes... the game is pretty good music. Pretty good chiptune music. People who like Game Boy games, of course, is a must-have. But Dreamland 2 was... I'm not sure how exactly this works with release dates. Dreamland 2 was amazing. I love this game. It was a really good game. I'm going to like butcher this Kirby list because I don't remember the list I had personally when I made the Kirby tier list. So I'm comparing this within the context of these games, comparing it to the context of other Kirby games. Of course, that list will be different. Of course, I'm a bit of a different person. That's not exactly true, but I'm in a different mindset when I'm talking about these Kirby games. So the order of Kirby games might be different. I also could have had a change of heart on some games. Well, you know. But Dreamland 2 had beginnings of power-ups, which made things pretty fun. Remember Kirby's Adventure? No, I did not play Kirby's Adventure, I think. I played the remake, because I played Kirby's Adventure in 2020. So, yeah, it's not on here. I think that came before this game. But Dreamland 2 had, was it 8 power-ups or something? It wasn't much. It wasn't very many copy power-ups, but it was enough. Alongside with the animal companions, which are pretty fun to play, which made the experience pretty fun. Final boss is tough as nails, and is the beginning of the Dark Matter trilogy. So it was pretty good, pretty short, pretty tough towards the end. So getting some of the stuff for 100% is a bit CVT towards the end because you needed power-ups. You needed to know which power-ups you needed, and you need to keep those power-ups or keep those pals, get through the level and get the thing. Which, if you screwed up, meant you had to redo the stage. So beating the game, getting the neutral bad ending or whatever, easy. Do that in like half an hour, or an hour, or 2 hours, or whatever. Getting 100%, that's usually what takes forever, and or rather a bit of a longer time in these Kirby games. Crimbos, as I call them. But that was March 9th. That was uploaded. And then afterwards, I had the itch because I had modded my GameCube with the Xeno chip, however you pronounce it, which allowed me to boot games off the SD card. So the first thing I'm like, okay, I get to play randomized Wind Waker on my GameCube. Around this time, I found a pseudo solution for not getting HDMI audio because with the HDMI adapter, I forgot what was it? It's not Ambernick. No, that's a different thing. Retrobit? No, that's what I was looking at. I forgot which one specifically. But there was a HDMI adapter for the GameCube that outputs audio and video through HDMI, and that is 480p. My capture card hates anything under 1080p with the software. Doing the output video works just fine. You get video, you just don't get audio, which really annoys me. So a pseudo solution was around this time I had repaired an Xbox One, an original one, from the dead. Since I bought 2 of them from eBay, not eBay, from an auction site, and I had fixed them up with the purpose of keeping one and reselling the other one. And the one I kept was in pretty good shape, really good shape. And the only thing I needed was replacing hard drive, which I did. And I discovered that there's a HDMI output-input thing on there, and through that I was able to pipe in the GameCube video, which honestly didn't look too good. I kind of want to do another Wind Waker replay now with my current knowledge of how to capture stuff that is under 1080, and that will look a lot better. It looked alright, but part of the charm was that I was finally doing a randomized Wind Waker. This was the 5th time I had done it on my GameCube with my controller and everything, and actually I think I got my best time on this run. I think it was my fastest run. I think it was like within 3 sessions when it usually takes about 4. I think it was 12 hours total or something like that, or 8, 9, I forgot. But this was my fastest run through of randomized run, and Wind Waker is always a favorite. But I'll put you there. I like Wind Waker again. My favorite Zelda, but I played it a lot, and this is me rating the randomized run of this year. So after that, yeah, that was March 10th to March 13th, 4 sessions. Or 4 uploads. Afterwards, I did a ground-only run of Pokemon Ruby, because I found there was an HD texture pack, and I wanted to try out to see if I could get a randomized game working. And it did work. But then afterwards, I could not get, for the life of me, I could not get a randomized 3DS Pokemon game working. So I would have redone this, I would have tried again, but it just kind of died. I think it was a Turtwig that ruined everything. Ugh. It looked really nice though. These 3DS Pokemon games look really nice if they are upscaled with the proper texture packs, which I hope one day somebody fixes X and Y with that, because X and Y desperately needs, even if it's just for the text, it needs that, because the text is really bad. So it was painfully mediocre at run. But it looked good. Give it that. On March 17th, I did a one-off of Loop Hero, which it was a one-off on stream. It was not a one-off in my own free time. I had actually pirated Loop Hero for a tiny bit until I was like, okay, I really like this game, so I'm gonna buy it. I bought it full price. Was it 20 bucks on Steam? I played it a decent amount. I played it once on stream. I did not touch it since, which is a shame because I was really addicted to that game. It's a really good game. But I feel this game is better if it was on a portable device, which I think it is on Switch now. So had I not bought it on Steam, I would have bought it on Switch. But with the Steam Deck coming out, I think I might get into Loop Hero again in my own free time. But yeah, it's a fun game. I'll recommend it for people who like roguelikes. It's just not the best thing in the world. It has good pixel art. I think it was who made it? Devolver Digital, I believe. They are pretty good at their craft. It has good music, albeit it's a bit repetitive at certain points because of you know, it's just the same tracks. They're really good tracks. It's just that it's a bit repetitive. So after that, I continued the Kirby-a-thon, going through the series. The next game was Kirby Superstar. I think I did stream this game years ago, but I wanted to replay this. So I think I played it off the Kirby collection. Did I get this working with the SNES Classic? I would have to double check. Let me double check. So it was around this point. So around this point in time, I had figured out there's a program called Amarec TV, A-M-A-R-E-C TV, that you can set up, and that works with at least my capture card, the Elgato HD60 Pro. It's a non-4K one. It's a internal PCIe capture card, and I use that. It's been good to me. The hardware has been good to me. The software is not, but hardware has been good for me since 2018. So I hope that keeps working in the foreseeable future. But around this time, I figured out that program exists, and I use Amarec TV for audio, and that has worked pretty well since for literally any console that is under 1080p. And this was the first game I really tried it with. Had it not worked, I would have had to rely on the Kirby collection on the Wii. And Kirby Superstar, love this game. Played it a lot growing up. So I'll put right there. Not really much I can really say about it, just the fact that it's a classic and everybody who has never played a Kirby game or Superstar should play it. Even if you played Superstar Ultra, I recommend this game wholeheartedly. I played both Superstar and Ultra this year. So, yeah, shows how much I love this game. Really good game. But I had played it before, so, yeah. Nothing was really new to me. So, that was played March 18th to March 19th. I finished the game in 2 sessions. Very short game. So, you could probably beat it. Maybe beat it in like 5 hours. I think I did 100% in Great Cave Offensive. So, I did it twice. And that's like my least favorite game mode. So, you know. Afterwards, starting March 20th to March 25th, this was a sort of drought period because I did not know what to play at all. I was too excited for Monster Hunter Rise for Switch. I could not think of anything else. And the thing was, I was promised to get Monster Hunter Rise a day early, so I had even less time to really fill in the gap with a game. And I had bought Live Alive on the SNES. I bought a custom repro cart of this game that had the English patch. for a friend for Christmas, for a Christmas gift. Of course, I didn't end up giving the gift because with my friends we didn't meet up until, was it June? First, second week of June or whatever. So I had this game still. I was like, okay, I don't know what to play. I've heard really good things about this game, so I'll take this as an excuse to try out this game to see if I can play it from beginning to end. If I have any issues, then I'll get into contact with eBay. I think I had still have a chance at that point, and I'll sort something out. Fortunately, the game worked perfectly, and this game is phenomenal. Even though I played a very early English patch that the English translators would probably say is incomplete and not the best work, I would say even as is with this patch, it is an awesome game. I love this game so much. This game had a lot of good music. Gameplay is a bit weird. The battles take some time to get used to because it's a pseudo action RPG, I want to say. It's a pseudo turn-based action, I would say. It's a very weird amalgamation of sorts. But this game is very good. I recommend it. It's not very long. The longest part of the game is probably the final bit, with the medieval chapter, which you unlock at the very end. But every chapter you could probably beat within 2 to 3 hours-ish, so it made perfect for me. I could beat a chapter per session, pretty much. The final section I think was pretty long because of the fact that, you know, again, the final chapter is the longest one. So, would 100% recommend this game. It's probably one of my favorite games of the year. I hope this game gets a remake or a port on modern consoles. I think it was on the Wii U Virtual Console, so it's not completely lost to time, but I still wish it would get re-released or remade. Love this game. Love it. So then finally, March 26th, I uploaded it. I got it the day before. I got it on the 25th. I streamed it that day. Through April 5th, I played Monster Hunter Rise. Monster Hunter Rise is a very good Monster Hunter game. It is not Monster Hunter World 2. It is a perfect in-between of 5th gen and 4th gen, in my opinion. Of having the... Well, for people that are new to the series, this game is pretty tough, but for people like me who have played a lot, we have a lot of hours under our belt of the series, of course it's going to be easy. That's every Monster Hunter. That's why World was so easy, because it was just Sock World. Iceborne was pretty hard towards the end. That was because it was, you know, new stuff. I had to learn how to fight Alatrion and Fatalis. I had to learn how to fight them. But with Stock World and Stock Rise, everything is kind of reactionary. And I get that. Because of that, people found the game easy. And game as is. I'm reviewing this before. You can see up ahead I have the 2.0 update. I think I have the 3.0 update right here. So before the Elder Dragons, this game was very short. I think I finished everything, quote unquote, within 80 hours. I did every quest in the village, and I did mostly every quest in the guild. The things I did not touch were the sieges, the rampages, and that was not until the 3.0 update because there's literally nothing else to do. Well, nothing I want to do, but so very good game, very good Monster Hunter game. Not the best, but in my mind, it ranks higher than Monster Hunter World. So I'll put it there for now. This is stock. This is before the 2.0 update. So again, before the Elder Dragons. So in Rescue Rain 2, was it April 6th to April 12th and 16th? I played Rescue Rain 2 because Bandit, the Bandit update was released. And Bandit was a character that the Rescue Rain 2 devs had polls on. So you could have voted on an entirely new Survivor, Bandit, and I think the Chef or something. You could have voted on between 3 or 4 different things, or was it 5? I forgot. But Bandit obviously won the polls, and people really wanted him in the game. So the developers pretty much... Bandit was technically already in the game, but they reworked him a little bit and put him in officially. I know there are mods. The Risk Rain 2 mods are very diverse. If you go past the big booty... what's her name? I forgot her name. The bow and arrow lady, or the magic lady, I forgot. If you go past those, There are a lot of good mods, and one of them is the Legacy Bandit. So you can compare and how that Bandit evolved into the one we officially got. And Bandit is very fun to play as. He has a very good playstyle of resets and doing big damage and taking advantage of going invisible and doing like critical damage when you came out of it. And Risk Rain 2, I love that game. I've heard that it runs pretty well on the Switch, and I recently got that game from 5 and Below. I'm not sure if it's still a thing, but I got it on 5 Below for the Xbox for about $5. And it runs pretty well on there. I'm not used to using a controller for aiming, but I'm sure with time I'll get used to it. But I'm more used to a mouse keyboard and, you know, having even more frames. But from the little I played, it seemed pretty good on Xbox. But this is talking about the Bandit update that I played on PC, and a very good update. Enjoyed it immensely. I'm looking forward to the paid expansions that are coming out soon, TM, which I will be 100% buying and playing and enjoying the crap out of it. So on April 7th, I uploaded me trying out the Metroid Prime 2D demo. Now this was a demo, I think, I'm not sure, I did not watch video play, I think I saw it afterwards. But I was very interested because I love the Metroid Prime series. I literally finished the series earlier this year. So I was looking forward to playing a fan-made demo of a 2D adaptation of this. So, what can I say? It was good. The pixel art, I'm a sucker for really good looking pixel art, and the art, just the art alone was out of this ballpark. It was good, very good. Playing the controls on mouse and keyboard is a bit awkward for platformers for me, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to platformers being on controller. I say that because this is more of a shooter in my eyes, but strictly a platformer game. That aspect, the controls are pretty good. It probably could be improvised just a little bit, you know, just tweaking a bit things to get things perfect. But as is, exploration, the controls, the look, the feel felt very Metroid-y. And it makes me want to play other fan games like AM2R, which I sadly did not do this year, but hopefully maybe next year I'll do it, because I've only heard good things about that fan game. So yeah, this demo was pretty promising, so I hope one day the full game or another update is released. So looking forward to that. It's developing in a good direction, so hoping for more in the future from those talented folks. So from April 13th to April 28th, I played my friend. Since Warzone was effectively in a dead state, we did not want to touch that for a while, and it didn't last long, as you can see. We wanted to try something new. My friend Wooly was like, hey, there's this April Fool's game of tabs of Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which I think I tried. I think this game was being sold at one point, but if you tried it early on, you could keep it. What's that? A different battle royale. I know one battle royale did that. But tabs, this battle royale was pretty fun, pretty silly. I doubt the player base is very large right now, because this sorts of battle royales come in surges, and this surge was because of a couple streamers popping in, so it was easy to find the game. And we actually won a couple of games. I won a couple of games, I think, or helped a lot in getting that win. It's pretty fun. The shooting's weird. Everything's wacky. The movement is wacky. The guns are wacky. Everything is wiggly waggly, but it's fun. It's good fun. Playing it right now, that would kind of suck, but at the time it was pretty fun. Better than Call of Duty at the time, I would say that. So afterwards, I decided that was a long enough break from my last Kirby games, as it was mid-April, April 14th to April 17th. I wanted to play Kirby Dreamland 3. Around this time, I got my first COVID shot, because I think around that time, like the first day you could sign up to get an appointment for the shot, I instantly jumped on it. Because the thing in my, we did not do the meetup with my friends, because of the fact there was a massive COVID scare everywhere. It was a lockdown, of course, around this time. Another lockdown, and people, I did not want to go out. The only reasons why I went out was for my math class, which was in person. which I begrudgingly went, but I'm glad I went in person because that class was tough and was made a bit easier with a professor in person. But I'd barely come home. Same day I got the shot, and the same day I played Dreamland 3, which this game is so comfy. I love this game. The art style is really good. I think it's a very late SNES title, and it's very, very viable in English. Getting the NTSC U version of this game is very, very expensive. It's like $150 for the cartridge. Meanwhile, the Japanese version you could get complete in box for $30. Gosh, I don't want to get in that tangent because it makes me upset. But this game is very fun, very good looking, very charming, very comfortable. Getting 100% is not that hard, and I could probably beat the game in like 4 hours. But I did it in 2 sessions because like I said, I got the first jab, and I was very tired, very sleepy around that time, so I had a pretty short stream. And I finished the stream afterwards when I felt better. Very good Kirby game. Would recommend. Might have to get more water here as I go along. You're barely like almost halfway through. But anyways, after Dreamland 3, around the same time, I started playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 from April 18th to April 27th. No, 21st, and then 28th, and took a break, and I finished it May 7th to May 8th. What did I play? That made me take a break. I don't know. But Mario Galaxy 2, this game gets a lot of high praise. It's a good game, so don't get me wrong. But there's just a lot of bloat in this game. If this game just finished at 120, 130 stars even, I would have been happy. But the green stars, oh gosh, playing the game pretty much over again just to get 100% in it is a bit too much. This is at the time it is the largest 3D Mario platformer game. And then Mario Odyssey came out and blew it out of the water in terms of size, or in my definition, bloat. Getting the first 120 stars, absolute joy. But getting the rest 120 green stars was a bit annoying. And I hope that there's ever a port of this game that they make the green stars a bit easier to get, because some of them are a bit cryptic. But at the same time, it's sometimes it was a bit easier to get them because they were just hidden in stage. You didn't have to do an entire stage to find them. The green stars were the sorest part for me. Stock game again, 120 stars. Very, very good game. Would recommend. I will not recommend 100% in this game, unless you really want those extra special stages at the very end, which those are pretty fun, pretty challenging, but also pretty CBT-ish at times. Not my favorite 3D platformer for Mario though. Galaxy 1 in my head is much better in that aspect. So from April 22nd, played it once, and then I came back to May 11th to the 17th. I took a pretty large break from this. I forgot why. Oh, it's because of Monster Hunter and Warzone. Gold is fun. I tried playing streaming this game in my first year of streaming. First year I did Earthbound 3 Ultimate. I tried to do Golden Sun as my first game after 3 Ultimate, and I just did not feel like it. I was kind of burnt out because I was very early on in my streaming, we'll call it career, and I did not find a good scheduling for myself, so I just got burnt out, honestly. And I was a bit bummed out from going from, if you play a game for long enough on Twitch, if you stick at it, you will get a viewer base, but you end up finding out that viewer base is only for that game. And I was very bummed out that I went from having those viewers that will come in for 3 Ultimate, I'll go to Golden Sun, they were all gone. I was pretty burned out about that. Now I don't care. I just play what I want. I have fun. You get 2 viewers, get 1 viewer, I don't care, I have fun. Screw the numbers, just have fun. So when I had that mentality playing Golden Sun, I had a really good time. I got a Game Boy player around this time. for my GameCube, since again, at the Xeno chip, I just get, what is it called? Game Boy interface, which, pretty much is the better Game Boy player disc, and I played all the Game Boy games. So I had to at one point for some of these games. Golden Sun, oh, such a good RPG, I love that game. I almost beat Golden Sun 1 in my own free time. I played a lot of it on my Android phone back in sophomore year. I played it off and on, but actually beating this game felt pretty good. So I'm happy about starting and finishing this series as we're going to go through this year. So from April 23rd, actually, I did Season 3 for 2 sessions, at least on stream. April 23rd and April 27th, Season 3 of Warzone dropped, and I'm going to say it again, things blurred together. I don't remember anything about this season other than the usual, but I think things got pretty bad when it came to the Battle Pass, so yeah, that was the beginning of the end for me and my friend group for Warzone. More FFAR, more Uzi meta, nothing changed. So April 29th to May 6th, Monster Hunter Rise got the 2.0 update for Elder Dragons, aka what people figured this was in a stock game, but you know, COVID development. This game, Monster Hunter Rise, had a very rough development phase, and it was kind of a miracle the game was not delayed at all. Personally, I would have rather the game had been delayed so that I know there were some early bugs with the charm tables and stuff that should have been ironed out before the game came out. And I think it was around the 2.0 trailer, was it that, or the 3.0 that it was fixed? So, you know, I was so very happy to fight with Tuistra and a good version of Kushala Aurora. Like that Rise version of Kush was the best way of fighting him. I do not like fighting the world. I think that's universally accepted that the world version of some elders just kind of suck. The Rise made things pretty fun with the wire bugs, and I think Kushala's AI was just changed and moves were changed in a way that it wasn't as annoying. Chameleos made a triumphant return for the first time since, was it when did Double Cross come out? 2014, 2015? No. Yeah, around there. So Chameleos is one of my favorite Elder Dragons, so I was happy to have him in a new game, and they had new moves and HD look, and I can't wait to refight a lot of these monsters in 120 FPS on the PC version of Rise. But on the Switch, good update. A lot of good stuff. People were, I think around this time, were very going hard, saying that Rise did not have any content, and you know, okay, this is sort of Capcom's way of saying, hey, here you go, here's content, enjoy. That's Elder Dragons. And of course, you cannot have people be happy with these days with any sort of new release, so I liked it. I enjoyed it. So on April 29th, I uploaded my reaction to Sony State of Play, which I think they showed a lot of Ratchet & Clank, and they showed a lot of something else, I forgot. But this was very disappointing for the fact that I should have read the description of the State of Play to figure out what was being shown. Had I known, I would have been geared up. Oh yeah, they're just showing 2 games. People were going absolutely ballistic on Twitter and what have you after finding out that they were just showing the 2 games and nothing else. So it was disappointing for me at the time, but it wasn't outright bad, I suppose. You know, I am looking forward to playing that new Ratchet & Clank game. Was it Rift Apart? But I'll happily buy it once PS5s are in stock and I could just walk in anywhere and get one for cheap, or even better yet, get a slim model of it, because it is way too dang big for my setup. So afterwards, in between the drought of Rise stuff, I don't think the 3.0 update was shown. I think I think they showed a roadmap, and so there's a large drought until the next announcement for a Monster Hunter update. So I was like, hey, let's play 4 Ultimate. This session of 4 Ultimate, this revisit, would have been my 4th reattempt to get through the guild on stream. And guess what? We stopped at the high rank urgent, I believe. Oh, I'm hoping one day we get to revisit it, because I would love to play 4 Ultimate on Citra and HD textures and all that fun stuff with my friends. Because some of them did not experience G-rank stuff like Ogmazios and Multitagrix and all that. And I want them to experience that. But, yeah, the session was pretty cut short and bored. A lot of missings. So as is right now, it's there. But I wish if I were to come back, if we finished G rank, it would have been up there. But that's my feelings towards it right now. So I'm hoping to come back to that. So yeah, it was May 10th to June 10th. So it was about, I would say it was 10 episodes. Like, we played it very sparsely. So I hope it comes back one day. So May 18th, I uploaded me playing the Metopia demo from playing on stream, and it's good. I liked it. I got my cursed crew of characters that I carried on into the full release, and Metopia is just sort of a good game in general that I recommend playing. It's a very personal game because you literally personalize everything. You personalize all the characters, and all my characters are kind of memey. So that's how I enjoyed it. You have your friends, family, or whatever in it. The Mii creation tool is absolutely like the most powerful tool Nintendo has released when it comes to character creation, which is pretty fascinating. You could literally have almost any character you want in Metopia to be a party member, an adversary, a character, an NPC, whatever. It's an amazing sort of game. So this was a demo, so I'll leave it here demo-wise, because it was 2 hours-ish long. It wasn't much. It wasn't a whole lot of content, but it was a demo. It was pretty generous for a demo, just with the Mii creator. So for me, from Metopia, I went back into the Kirby-a-thon. Kirby 64 Crystal Shards from May 20th to the 26th. Around this time, I had attempted to get a physical copy of Kirby 64 for my 64, because I have a RetroTink 2X. I was like, oh, I want to use this. I have S-Video cables. I want to play it off the console. And getting a physical copy of this in English, when I looked around, $40. It's probably more now. It's probably less now. Who knows? $40 in English, and like $9 in Japanese. So I'm like, it's a Kirby game. There's barely any text outside of some menus. So I bought the Japanese version, and I played the Japanese version, and I'm pretty sure it was a pretty early version of the game, because I could only control Kirby with the D-pad, not the analog stick. Not that it mattered, because I opted for the D-pad the entire way through. And Kirby 64 is still probably one of my favorite Kirby games. I love that game so much, and beating it 100% was amazing. One day at my return to do the arena, because I heard it's pretty rough and tough, so we'll see when I decide to do that. So we're approaching the summer here. From May 27th to June 14th, I started playing Golden Sun: The Lost Age, a sequel to Golden Sun 1. So I started playing this blind, and oh gosh, it's such a good RPG. It is an amazing game. If you love RPGs, play the Golden Sun series. I know people say the third game's a disappointment, but I'll get to that when I get to that. When I get talking about it. This game is just awesome. Good music, good story. It's a lot to read at times, but that's just sort of how Camelot is with RPGs. There's a lot to read through, so I would understand this game is pretty boring to watch, because it is a lot of reading, a lot of listening, but it is, it's good. It's the reason why I stayed up until like 6 in the morning. I stayed up when it's 5:30 a.m. right now, because I've been talking for like an hour about video games I played this year. But it's a good game. Game is good. Would recommend. Again, played it on the GameCube player. with the GCN to Wii Classic controller. I got my SNES controller playing. It's an absolute joy to play Game Boy games on there. So shortly afterwards, around this time, the Monster Hunter Rise 3.0 update came out. So I played that through May 27th to the 31st. It did not last very long because it was just the main appeal to the update was Valstrax, which was a kind of surprise. I don't remember the roadmaps correctly because I stopped looking at it once they finished it. But Valstrax is such a good fight. The music was pretty good. I still like the original track of Valstrax from Double Cross over Rise, but it's still pretty good. It's pretty neat to have a sort of subspecies. I think is it subspecies variant of Valstrax. It's like kind of insane over like it's what was it taken over by the dragon element. It's like all insane and evil and stuff, versus just like it's just Elder Dragon and Gen U. Very fun fight. And as a sort of it was completed to me, Monster Hunter game by Rise, completed high rank game. Of course, it'll be on top of the 2.0 update. So it's just Rise after all the updates. I did not play Rise afterwards. I'm saving my Monster Hunter urges until it comes out on PC. So you know for a fact I'll play the crap out of that once more. Once it is on PC, we'll have good FPS, good graphics, good all that fun stuff. But let's see. The full release of Miitopia came out, and I played that May 29th to June 17th. So this was actually a very long game. I think around this time I actually kept my off and on, like every other day I'll play a different game. I think I started that up this year officially. So that is a good way of keeping from burning out, because he would have different games every other day. Even if I really want to just, push through, let's say, Golden Sun or Lost Age all in one go, I did not let myself do that, because burnout is a really bad thing for streamers, and that is an easy way of killing off games and killing off your mood. Just press the start stream button, So Miitopia was kind of a thing that lasted a very long time because of that, but it was also a little long-winded towards the end. It was still a very fun game. I loved every minute of it. I loved every little random moment in the game. Sure, the characters and all the story may have been a bit cursed because of me, but it was still good. It was good for me. That's all that matters. So we are finally halfway through the year. We are at June. So the 4th season of Warzone is out, which is, I think, the final time I play Call of Duty, is it? Let me see, look at it real quick. This isn't the last time, it's the second to last time I'll be playing COD. Yeah, season 4 is where I stopped playing, and again, I only got worse from there with the battle pass. I didn't even try to max out the battle pass this time. I just stopped playing, so I'll just leave it there. Again, all the seasons meld together. You play one season, you play them all. You gotta get better at them. You just get different guns, and that doesn't really change the meta. You just play whatever's new, Around this time was also Capcom E3 Event and Nintendo E3 Event, which I will quickly look up to see what was shown. I'm out of green tea. Might get some Arizona during the next mini break to look at stuff. So the Capcom E3 2021 showcase, there was the RE Village DLC. It's in development. I saw Vinny play this game. Looked good. Some parts are very scary. I purposely did not look at the screen for some parts, and even the audio scared the crap out of me. Because it shows how good of a game it was, horror-wise. But yeah, nice that there's DLC. RE Reverse to launch July 2021. Monster Hunter Stories 2. Right, more stuff was shown, and a demo was announced, which I think I did not play until the end of the month, pretty much. Rise roadmap through August 2021 teased. Yeah, cool. It's Attorney Chronicles shows off. Yeah, that's a new game. And that was it. Pretty mild direct. I think the best thing was the Rise roadmap and stories too, but everything else was pretty mild. I would say put that right there. Perfectly average. Now for Nintendo E3 Direct, there was Metroid Dread. There was Breath of the Wild 2. There was a Game & Watch Zelda. There was more Calamity stuff. There was more Skyward Sword HD shown. Kazuya for Smash Party was announced. For me, it does nothing. I know for some people it did something, but for me, I don't play Tekken, I don't play any fighting game, really. I don't play any real fighting games. So, happy for the people that were happy, I suppose. Shin Megami Tensei 5 was finally shown. I think that was even like shown as a launch Switch game, but finally came out this year, so that looks interesting. I want to get into the Shin Megami Tensei series, maybe get back into Persona, try it out again. So it looked interesting. I'm interested. Don't have my full heart into it, we'll say. Mario Plus Rabbids sequel. Happy to see that. I'm looking forward to that game. Mario Party Superstars. Happy to see that there was a Mario Party game with online. I don't remember it was shown, but this was the first real good Mario Party that I discovered as I bought it and tried it out. So I'm very happy that that game ended up being very good. WarioWare, WarioWare Get It Together. So when you play that, looks good. Not worth $60 for it though. If it gets down to like 30, 20 bucks, 20%, I will pick it up because that's how much I see it as. There's not as much replayability as previous games. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp. This game got delayed, but I am interested. So many tactical RPGs. I'm happy that some GBA games appears to have some interest and remakes. So I'm hoping other GBA games get remade, like Golden Sun 1 and 2. That'd be nice. I wouldn't mind that. More Stories 2 is shown. Life is Strange, Life is Strange, Remaster Collection, Mario Super Rush. Was that the first time we've seen it? Might have been an update, I remember. Realm of Arcanian, Monkey Ball Banana Blitz, was that? Oh no, Banana Mania. This was a good one, I believe. This was 1 and 2 remade. That was a good Monkey Ball game. I saw Vinny play that as well. More No More Heroes 3. Danganronpa 5, meh. Fatal Frame, meh. Marvel, meh. 2 Point Campus, meh. Cruising Blast, I don't know. That looks interesting. I do have a bit of a curiosity for racing games. I'm very interested in trying them out. Because sometimes I just have the urge to just, drive a car, race a car, In video games, I don't drive in real life, so the one outlet for driving is in video games. Just Dance 22, surprised it was not on the Wii. For once. The Ancient Gods, meh. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot on Switch, really? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, meh. Strange Brigade, meh. Worms Rumble, meh. My eyes though, generally pretty positive. This E3 was just stacked alone just for the fact that Metroid Dread was announced and the latest sequel for Breath of the Wild 2 was shown, which got the internet on fire. So I'll put that right there. Just with those two games alone, honestly, and Mario Plus Rabbids sequel. Just a lot of stuff I'm looking forward to was in that direct. So let's see here. June 16th, I uploaded the VOD of Berserk, Sword of the Berserk Guts' Rage. I don't remember if it was around this time I fixed my Dreamcast issue, but I got a Dreamcast over the summer, starting in the summer, early summer. I fixed it up, and there was a whole saga of getting stuff to work correctly. I don't remember if I had because I had an issue with the power supply. I had bought a replacement power supply that is smaller and gives off less heat, because I used the GDMU which allows you to run games off SD card instead of relying off the old and aging GD-ROM drive. But the thing is that causes a lot of heat with the power supply, with the stock power supply. So you need, it's recommended to have an Octo fan or to clip out some capacitors. And I opted for the small power supply at first. And that caused issues because there was too much solder in some spots, and that caused a lot of like garbage and interference to pop up on screen, which really bummed me out. But once I figured out the issue, I put in the old power supply, I bought an Octo fan, and I love the Dreamcast. It's such a good console. And this Berserk game is very arcade-like, in which you go stage by stage, but it's also pretty interesting in the fact that there are QTE segments in which you effectively choose your path on what stages you go in if you fail or succeed in a QTE. This game is very tough towards the end. Very, very tough, but it is pretty fun. Albeit it's a bit clunky at times, but it is, again, if you're a fan of Berserk, a fan of sort of hack and slash sort of games, this is a game for you, and it is pretty tough. I recommend it. So June 18th, I uploaded Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. See if I figured it out around this time. I know I got pretty bad food poisoning in the summer. I don't remember when that happened, but that's probably not in the upload timeline because I think it gets overshadowed. Anyways, but yeah, on what was I saying? June 18th, I uploaded the VOD for the remake of Kirby's Dreamland, Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, and that was on a GBA. I finished that game in its whole sit down. I played the stock game, which was fine. Had I done more content, I probably would have a bit of a higher opinion on this game, but it was fine. Nothing special. The music was good, graphics were good. I just like Amazing Mirror a lot more. That's why it's kind of like down here. It's an alright Kirby game. It's always bugged me that this game is really expensive, used, versus Amazing Mirror. Of course, it might be different now, because of the renaissance of nostalgia for the DS and GBA, so prices may have surged on some of these games, so yeah. It's an alright game. I had fun with it. From June 19th to June 20th, I uploaded Daxter for the PSP, and this was the first game I played on my PSP Go, and I replayed it using PPSSPP, and the game's pretty alright with an actual controller and not the small like PSP joystick, PSP Go joystick. The textures need a bit of work. If there was a HD texture pack for this game in the future, this game would look almost as good, if not better, than the PS2 Jak and Daxter games. So I'd recommend it. It's pretty short. If you like Daxter, not annoyed by his personality, then it's a game for you. I like Daxter personally, so it's fun. So from June 21st to June 27th, I played Red Dead Revolver. I played this on a whim. I first played it on PCSX2, and then I played the rest of the game. I think I finished the stream on the PS2. And this game is pretty fun. I think it's in the same Red Dead universe, but this does not have the same characters, I believe. We just have the character Red, who is in the Western time period. I think he's part of the golden era of the Westerns. I don't know. I don't remember the time period correctly. But this game is very fun. Pretty challenging at times, but also at times stupidly easy. But that may have been because on PCSX2 I remember having emulation difficulties. So some parts of the game are not very accurate versus how they're supposed to be played. Because I had some easier times playing on PS2 with some sections versus struggling on the emulator. But I recommend it. Recommend this game wholeheartedly. It's a good game. Not the best game in the Red Dead series, obviously, because this is its own sort of genre of third-person shooter. It's not open world, really. Yeah, it's good though. Would recommend. As I always say, it's not a Western without a some sort of tragedy. There is tragedy in this game. At least at the very beginning, it's sort of a bittersweet, happy ending. So you know. Then from June 22nd to July 5th, I think think I got a Noctua fan mod for my Dreamcast around this time. So my Dreamcast was like dead silent, and I was very happy with it. Again, I love my Dreamcast, and I love it even more so because I played Shenmue 1 and 2. Shenmue 1, I knew next to nothing. Just kind of general, the Shenmue series I knew nothing about until I played them this year over the summer. And Shenmue 1 is such a comfy game. I'd recommend the crap out of it. The game is very comfy. It's very amazing how they pulled off the sort of graphics around this time. Of course, that's something everybody talks about. This game looks amazing for its time. It was mind-blowing. This was a game that was trying to save the Dreamcast. Remember, I think this game has on record like the most expensive game ever made for its time, and it sadly did not make up for its losses, I'm pretty sure, which is a shame. But this was a passion project game that was meant to have like what, 7-8 parts, and we've sadly only got 3. But hey, that part 3 was recent at the very least, so we can hope for part 4 soon, TM. But Shenmue 1, you can see why this game is a lot of people's favorites, and it is one of my favorite games of all time. I would say top 20, top 50. Shenmue 1 would be on there. It is that good. So if I get a Dreamcast, or better yet, have a modern console like PS4, PC, Xbox, get 1 and 2 collection. That is probably the easiest way of playing these games. And because of that, Shenmue 1 physically on Dreamcast is pretty cheap these days. I think it's complete for all 3 discs, like $40-50, when this game used to be like the $100+ game, the game that you put down big money for. Now it's pretty affordable because you can play it on a lot of different things. But yeah, June 25th, I finally played the Monster Hunter Stories 2 demo, and I played it on Switch. I should have played it on PC. I'll talk about that later. But the demo was pretty good. Performance is pretty meh on console, but I've said it many times. It's an RPG. Who cares if it runs at 30 FPS or 20 sometimes? If it was action RPG like a regular Monster Hunter game, I would have cared. But for an turn-based RPG, it worked pretty good for me. It was pretty average. I'll talk about more about later, but the demo was good. If you are interested in Stories 2, try out the demo, see if you like it. If you like it, try the full game. But I'll talk about about other things later. So from June 28th to August 14th, Far Cry 5 was on sale. Bought it, and I played that with my friend Miggy, and he had played Far Cry 4 a lot during the summer or when Overwatch came out because he had no internet, so he played the crap out of that game. He did not play Far Cry 5 though, so we both played that game blind. And this was my first Far Cry game, and he was playing Far Cry 5 blind. And the game is very breathtaking in its visual fidelity. It is very good looking. But the whole consensus of if you played Far Cry 4, you've effectively played Far Cry 5. Because the graphics honestly did not prove that much. It was just the setting changes, character changes. The whole Far Cry thing of we have the best villains. Playing 4 and 5 made me really realize that people really like the Book of Revelations, huh? People really like the end of the Bible. So it's a bit creepy, in my opinion. But this game made heavy use of the sort of is it a Christian cult? It's sort of a Western religion cult, but relying on Book of Revelations, but having sort of anti-Christ figure. I don't know. It was something when it came to the story. Especially with spoiler alert, you losing. Effectively, this was a Far Cry game in which you do not win, and the nukes go off, and you effectively lose and get enslaved by the villain because you didn't kill him right then and there. And a new dawn happened, which makes me upset that I have to play another game to figure out how that story ends. That should have been a part of the main game, but oh well. It's Ubisoft. It's DLC is worth like $5 probably. So I'll probably get to that one day, my friend Nikki. So we'll see. But Far Cry 5, it was alright. It was only mainly a good game because of the fact I played in multiplayer. Because I did see part of Far Cry 5 through Lumber and him playing with Crit, and those shenanigans that they got into with the air battles and PvP and all that fun stuff. Like I cried laughing. My sides hurt. And there were parts of when I played this game that maybe that might I was getting like impaired vision because of how hard I was crying, how hard I was laughing at times. It's a good time if you play with friends. If you play it solo, it's mediocre at best, but it's only up there at B because I played it multi. That made it fun. So June 29th to July 4th, I played Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I love this game. 100% it. I played the second time me playing this game and on stream, and the second time me going through it, I decided 100% it. Did not take me as long as I expected, but it is a very good Kirby game. It is the only quote-unquote open world Kirby game, which I hope makes it actually might be. We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about when the new Kirby game comes out next year. But they did the first and only 2D open world Kirby game. And because of that, it's such a unique game and something I grew up playing. And I love Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. The game gets a lot easier when you upgrade your health. That's for sure. I had a tough time playing it the first time I first streamed it, because of the fact I rushed through it. Did it in a single sit down. And that is a valuable way of playing, but I would not recommend that because that makes the final boss pretty hard. So around this time in July, starting July, my friend Lou wanted to revive the Pokemon Soul Link series that we started back in 2018, 2019. And we took a big break from it because from playing Crystal, I think we were set to redo the 84. We did not finish it. So we took a like 6-month, 7-month break from that, and we finally returned with Pokemon Emerald. Spoiler alert, we actually won. This is our first win in a long time. Well, actually, we'll call it a half win of a Crystal. But we actually won fully in Emerald, and that was a good feeling, finally winning a Soul Link again. It was tough. There were a lot of tough points, but we managed to do pretty well, and because of that, I'll put that right there. Good feeling. Give that Pokemon Emerald an A. There also the 3rd gen is a gen I grew up playing. Not the best one. It's not 5th gen, of course, but still pretty good. Starting July 6th, though, I started the multi-month journey that is Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on Switch. I bought this game on a whim during, I think, the 2.0 update for Rise. I saw Xenoblade Chronicles on sale new. Was it 25 bucks, 22 bucks? Bought it. And probably my best purchase I have done this year. The Xenoblade is amazing. Played it through July 6th to September 6th. And what was it, 105, 10 hours? I loved it. I have not played the epilogue yet. I was going to do that this month, but things got in the way. Like, I did the Pokemon movies marathon in my Discord. I did that daily, so I did not have time to do my 12-hour stream because I did make it to 500 followers on Twitch, and that was my promise. But since then I've fallen. I'm kind of like, well, I'll wait until 500 comes around again, and then I'll plan around it. But yeah, Xenoblade is like the perfect game for me because I do not like MMOs because of the thing that makes it MMO, the odd of people. I like the idea of having a massive game, a massive world to explore, a lot of story, a lot of characters to love and all that. And Xenoblade Chronicles, absolutely amazing. Almost a 10 in every regard. There were some points in the game like I did not like spiked enemies. Spiked enemies was like literally like the sort of a pseudo wall that they would place in front of you, so that you wouldn't just like mindlessly go through the game with some characters. and it really annoyed me because how I played it after I think almost halfway through, I say quarter through the game, I started rotating what character I would only play as for that stream, and some characters I noticed were just not meant to deal with some situations without having like a support character that will always heal you, or a character with taunt that always taunt, and some playstyles were just pretty hard, much harder than others, just for the sake of being hard because of spikes and all that. But Xenoblade, probably one. I actually put Xenoblade maybe in top 15 games of all time for me. There were a lot of really good games I played this year, and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is probably one of my top games this year. I look forward to playing Chronicles 2 or X next year. I'll make a poll. I'll try to keep one Xenoblade game per year, or Xenogear. I want to play Xenogear at one point. I'm interested. At one point. I'll make a poll for Chronicles 2 or X, because I can play both right this instant. But I'll make a poll for that for next year. So limit one Xenoblade game a year. So while I was waiting for my copy of Stories 2 to come in, because the retro game store I bought it from, where I got both Animal Crossing and Rise on Switch a day early, I got Stories 2 on Switch like almost a week late, because the shipments being bad, and I don't know, it was something I maybe lose faith in that retro game store, because I was promised, hey, maybe you'll get it a day early, and then it was kind of like, oh, not here yet. So in that drought of not having a new monster in the game of any sort, I played SpongeBob SquarePants Movie the Game. I played this game a lot when I would go to my babysitters growing up when I was like 8 or 9, and I'll play the PS2 version, so I played that version on stream. It was the first time I'd be in the game, because whenever I would go to my babysitters, they did not have a memory card, so every time I would come over, I would have to redo the game from the start. And so this was the first time I played it from beginning to end. And I also did it 100%. Well, 99%. I did not do the last 1%. Forgot what it was. I didn't really care for it. I just wanted to beat the game. So I think it's forever 99%. But it was a good romp. It is not the best 3D platformer on the PS2 by a long shot, but I mainly enjoyed it for the fact that it had a lot of good memories, but there was a lot of CBT. An immense amount of CBT if you want to get all the spatulas. Were the spatulas, or I forgot what they were. The collectibles in the game. So I would recommend a casual playthrough of this game if you want to play it. I did buy Rehydrated Battlefield Bikini Bottom on PS4. So I do want to try that game out next year, to fill in my sort of like 3D action platformer itch that I get every so often. So that was the thing that scratched my itch for this year. That was SpongeBob Movie the Game. So yeah, sort of hold over until I finally got Stories 2, which I did get. Started uploading the VODs for July 12th to the 30th. Oh, I guess I forgot. Yeah, forgot the times. Xenoblade was July 6th to September 6th. SpongeBob SquarePants Movie the Game was July 9th to the 13th. And Stories 2 was July 12th to the 30th. So first off, I started on the wrong foot with this game, because of the fact the demo data did not transfer to the full game, and that peeved the crap out of me, because I did everything I could in the demo, so when I went to the full release, I was just pretty much told, do that all over again. And that made me really upset, and that really soured my mood for the first, let's say, 5 hours of the game. But afterwards, things kind of took up, and honestly, this game is not as good as the first game. Story-wise, I like the first game a lot more. Even though the first game is very shonen with sort of power of friendship stuff, the second game is kind of... What? Okay. It's a very meh sort of experience. The voice acting is very okay. The think the only voice that I had issues with was Roberto and Naviru. I got used to Naviru after a while, but Roberto, I did not imagine have that sort of Surfer Bro voice. So it was very jarring to see him speak and talk in Surfer Bro sort of accent. It was very weird. But I did warm up to it, and of course the internet loved Sukino, didn't they? But it was alright. Again, it was better. It's not as good as the first one. The first game is much better, but it was still a pretty good game. So I'll put you right there, in the middle B. Starting in August 1st to August 12th, I played Shenmue 2. I did a poll to vote whether or not I would play this game on the Dreamcast or the Xbox. I had figured, since I was going from Shenmue 1 to 2 on the same console, since obviously the Dreamcast version won, since I have the Dreamcast box right here. Actually, the version on Xbox is pretty cheap. I might buy that just because I like Shenmue 2. I like the Shenmue series. I became a fan after going through the series. Anyways, the poll ended with me playing the Dreamcast version, so that's what I did. And I figured that since it's on the same console, that I could transfer over what I did in Shenmue 1 to 2, the funds, the collectibles, and all that. No. Shenmue 2 was a EU Japan only game, so I played I think I went to the patch version. I don't remember. But if I wanted to keep my save data to transfer over, I would have to use a program, special program, or I would have to start the same region for both games. So that was a bit of a letdown, but it wasn't really needed, honestly. I could have done without. I did without, and I did just fine. Shenmue 2 is not as good as Shenmue 1 for the fact that it's not a lot of the main factor of comfiness was not in Shenmue 2. You are literally like just kind of on your own, alone at first in a whole new world, and that is part of China. Like you're still asking around for directions. You have a much larger map, which is at first very difficult to traverse because it's very hard to remember what's where, but towards the end, you know, I memorized where everything is, and I know when I saw Joel play it, he really hated the last, was it 2 hours, sort of pseudo epilogue of not being in the city anymore, going on a walk with Shenhua, and he was really sour during that part. But I personally really liked it. There wasn't really such a bad part of the game. Probably the worst thing of this game was the command QTEs, because those weren't explained very well how they work. Regular QTEs are just, you know, press A, move left, move left, but command QTEs were poorly explained until I figured out that you know, it was kind of like press the button as they show up, not it's not Simon Says, in which you see the pattern, then you do it yourself. You press it as you go. So I wish that was explained better. And the timing sometimes is sort of really tight. Maybe because of the fact that I am not playing the game on a CRT, so the input delay is much higher, and plus, well, you know, Elgato advertises that the throughput or whatever through the software, there's no lag, but I don't really know. I don't have the tools to measure it, so that could have been a factor for some command QTEs, but some parts were immensely difficult to do sometimes. But Shenmue 2 is still a very good game. Again, not as good as Shenmue 1, but still a very comfy and good game that I'll recommend. So, let me see here. Afterwards, I think I'll take a quick break. Let me get something to drink. Starting in August, let's see, August 6th to August 21st, continued the Pokemon Soul Link series. Was it directly after? Or did I take a break? I don't remember. Let me see, double check. 31st. Was it the first week? Am I looking this wrong? Yeah, it was like, yeah. So this kept being a weekly series up until after this, I believe. Then we took a Pokemon break. So I think the remakes are coming out. And we just me and Lou agreed that we should take a break just to ensure we don't burn out on Pokemon. And so we jumped into Platinum for, what was it, 4 sessions, 4 weeks almost? And spoiler alert, it's a lot of those, huh? We got clapped around the same part as we did in the first run, which was around the fog area. That path is just kind of cursed for Lou. I don't know why, it just always is. And we lost around that time again, so, you know. Also, 4th gen is pretty overrated, so, you know. The run is pretty average, because it was literally halfway through the game, so we'll leave it there. But hopefully in the future, we do a loop around, and that works out for the better, so that's all. I can really comment on that. So on August 16th, I uploaded... Actually, no. I'm skipping ahead, too far ahead. Kirby Squad was August 15th to 17th, and that was continuing the Kirby-a-thon. Squad is alright. It was a pretty easy game to 100%. It was pretty easy. It's pretty let down by the final boss though. So I'd wish there was like more, like an actual like harder soul fight or whatever. I don't know. It is a very easy Kirby game. I'll recommend that game if you are like new to Kirby games, because it is like baby easy to do the 100%, baby easy to complete. Bosses are not very hard, and it's fun though. It's very fun though. It's a very good Kirby game. I should move this here because this was more disappointing that now that we have good stuff here. This doesn't belong up there. Okay, now I can talk about Back 4 Blood Open Beta. My mind really wants to talk about this, which I uploaded on August 16th. Back 4 Blood, the Open Beta was pretty alright. You can obviously see some flaws. Performance was pretty meh at the beta. I know for the full release, so I'll talk about it here, but it was much better in the full release versus the beta here. Car system in the beta was alright. Difficulty was pretty weird. There's a lot of weird spikes, a lot of weird funnels of difficulty that will pop in and out, and it could have been improved right then and there. But I had high expectations for improvements because of the fact that they were the same devs as Left 4 Dead 2. But you can see here, from August 19th to the present, potentially, Left 4 Dead 2 through mods is still alive in my game rotation because of all the fan creation stuff. This game is phenomenal in the multiplayer setting, because this game, it just feels good to shoot. The characters are lovable. All characters have good personality that I enjoy, even if there's like I haven't paid attention to the story because I did not play the first one. I love Coach. He's a good guy. I like him, and the game is very fun to play in multiplayer. So, and again, this game lives on in my game rotation because of the community. Back 4 Blood has bad blood with me, no pun intended, because of the fact they're not making it easier for the community to build stuff for it. Like that is literally the thing that keeps a game going, outside of the developer making content for it. It's the community that helps it chug along. And if you don't let the community build on what you got, it just kind of dies off. So, let's see. From August 19th to August 24th, I uploaded Kirby Superstar Ultra. I played on emulator, I think. No, Platinum was when I started, when I switched over from Des Moon to Melon DS. And Kirby Superstar Ultra and Squad were also played with Melon DS, which looks really nice upscaled because you could get really good like sharp pixels and all that fun stuff. Really good 3D for the DS. It's really weird seeing stuff like Animal Crossing in like perfect HD. Almost, you know, not perfect, but it still looks pretty good. And Superstar Ultra, we'll put it ahead of Superstar. More of the same goodness. And I could literally repeat what I said about Superstar, but there's just more stuff to do. There's more fun game modes, like Meta Ultra Night, Meta Night Ultra Nightmare. I don't. My brain is like stuck on the names. I can't think about. But it's a game mode with Meta Knight and the True Arena, and just it felt good completing that True Arena. Even if I did it with Hammer, it was good. Good for me. Not good for my blood pressure. My heart probably lost a couple of years from the stress from that. But it was fun. So directly after Superstar Ultra, I went into Return to Dreamland. Kirby's Return to Dreamland from August 26th to the 31st. I believe this was the first 3D Kirby since Kirby 64. Everything else is 2D pixelated, well, 3D aesthetic. This game is very good. This is a very good game. Pretty short, and my one gripe is that you have to beat the game again to get the quote-unquote True Arena. Why did I say quote-unquote? To get the True Arena, you need to beat the game again on hard mode. And that was probably like the biggest gripe I had with the game. Everything else was pretty good except for that one thing. I wish you could do the True Arena without needing to play the game over again. It's sort of like Mario Galaxy 2, in which you just play the game again over. Just to do the real stuff you wanted. Forehead. Yeah, just play it again. But hard. So if I had more patience and wasn't trying to do all the Kirby games in a single year, well, I should. I sort of a goal, just to play all the Kirby games. And I wanted to do it in a timely fashion, so I was pretty impatient and did not want to go through the entire game once more, just for one extra game mode. So I might do it these days again, but in my own free time, I just want to do it on stream, you know. So since our loss in Pokemon Platinum Soul Links, from August 29th to August 3rd, me and Lou did Pokemon Black and White 2 Soul Link. And we got pretty far in this one, but we got clapped by the champion. Because we were very cocky. That was sort of an issue that we had. We should not have been as cocky as we were, because we were letting Pokemon die left and right, sometimes carelessly. And we had a slow bleed of very good Pokemon dying at the very end. What we should have done, we should have had a mediocre team at the very start. And then once we got to the Elite Four, we actually took out all of our strong Pokemon, and we would have probably won actually had we done that. But we were very cocky, very very impatient to finish this Soul Link, because we were like, oh yeah, we got this. We got through all the gym badges. We just need the victory road, the Elite Four. We are done. And we scraped tooth and nail to the champion, just to lose, which was. I was happy we made it to the champion at that point, but it was also pretty disappointed in ourselves, especially me, some of my carelessness. But yeah, 5th gen, Death Gen, with the run, it was. I'll give the run a B for a good attempt. September 2nd, I did a single sit down of Kirby's Epic Yarn to continue the Kirby-a-thon. Some people will not regard this as a mainline Kirby game, but it's a 2D Kirby game, so it's a mainline one to me. Game is fine. I know this game got a lot of flack, but it looks and plays pretty nicely. I would have a higher opinion had I not done this in a single sit down, honestly. It's a good game though. I'm not sure if I should have played the one on 3DS, because I know that one, it may have had more content. I don't know, but it was alright. It was alright. So starting September 5th to the 9th, I did a lot of Kirby games back to back, didn't I? I played Kirby Triple Deluxe, and this was, I actually did not know that there was a lot of Kirby games on the 3DS. I thought it was just Planet Robot. I thought Triple Deluxe was a Wii game or a Wii U game. It was not. In effect, was a very pretty good 3DS game. I'll put it above Return to Dreamland because of what it tried to do, like sort of new, like on top of Return to Dreamland, like having the the Hyper Suck, or I forgot what the name. What it was, but it was a fun gimmick of Kirby having a good suck, very good suck. and Queen Septania. Septania. Villain was pretty alright. It was. I think I like Magalore a bit more because of the fact of the sudden twist towards the end that this dude was evil. And Kirby Triple Deluxe started the sort of trend of hanging henchmen. I think it's really stuck between the 3DS games that there was a henchman for the bad guy that we would have alongside us, or we would fight like the what they were called, but they were like a little bug enemy that was under the Queen Sectania, and that was sort of our adversary. But it was funny to see sort of DD being touted as the hero of Dreamland when, you know, we knew the fact that, you know, it's Kirby. Kirby's the hero, and it's cool that there is a game mode in which you play as, you know, what if they actually they succeeded in getting Kirby, and you play as King DDD, which is a pretty fun game mode. How did you play that game mode? Or replay the game for that game mode alone, honestly. There's a lot of replayability with these game modes in the more modern Kirby games, you know. So from September 8th to October 7th, I played or streamed Splitgate very off and on. A lot of people like this game. It had a massive resurgence because of streamers playing it. Because of Halo not being out yet, everybody was holding their breath for a new Halo game, and they were worried that it was gonna be rocky because of the trailers. And people discovered Splitgate. Again, it's a pretty old game, pretty old shooter. People rediscovered it, and like me, became very addicted to it for a set amount of time. It's a very good game to play with friends. Very fun. I would love to come back to see if there's anything new to it, but I'm sure getting games with it in the game now would be pretty long because of people. Well, they got their Halo. That's what they're playing these days. So, you know. From this September 8th to September 26th, finished the Golden Sun trilogy with Dark Dawn. Dark Dawn has had a rough period of time with fans because when the game first came out, people had very high expectations for this game, going off of the Lost Age, which is such a good game. Going from that to something that is just okay, well, it's pretty good, but just the peak of the Lost Age was way too high. It made a pretty good game seem okay in retrospect. But I know when I was streaming it, a lot of people were popping in and saying how this game was actually getting a lot more positive recognition as of late, which I'm pretty happy with because the game is pretty alright. It's still Golden Sun. It's still a lot of exposition, a lot of reading, a lot of, you know, all that fun stuff. But at its core, at its heart, it is still Golden Sun. It's probably just as good as Golden Sun 1. Maybe just a little bit worse, but there's a lot of characters. It's pretty short. And my main gripe is the fact that we are left on a cliffhanger, and it's been over a decade since. Still waiting for Golden Sun 4. Come on, Camelot, please. I know your employees are very different now. You have a very different workspace, so yeah, I would have done a Mario Party, Mario Golf, and tennis. You could work on a Golden Sun, right? Or a remake, something. It's my wish. My wish. But yeah, still a pretty good game. It looked pretty good upscaled on Melon DS as well. Not perfect, but it was pretty good. So from September 11th to September 13th, I uploaded Kirby Planet Robobot. Getting pretty close to the end of the Kirby series, the mainline Kirby series. This was the second to last, and this game is phenomenal. It is probably the best new quote-unquote Kirby game that I've played, but I still like Kirby 64 more because of the fact that I grew up playing that. I have a lot of good memories, but this game, as a Kirby game, has a lot of very high points and is very fun. It was very fun, 100% it, and was it pretty tough? I remember. I'm having some difficulty. I remember dying a lot towards the end, but it was good. A lot of good music, a lot of fun fights. The mech was pretty cool gimmick, even if the mech was limited to a certain amount of power-ups. That got pretty like, oh, it was fire again. Oh, it's electric again. Might be because of me though, because I like to turn power up, so I would naturally gravitate towards those. But this was the final Kirby game that had collectibles, and that was like part of the reason why I liked some of these games. Like, I like Kirby 64. I like collecting the shards. I like figuring out what I need, or doing a stage perfectly so I could like with a power up, so I could open a secret or whatever. And Robobot was sort of similar in that aspect. And September 15th, paid 40 smackaroos, 40 big ones, Kirby Star Allies, and I finished in a single sit down. Well, I mean, that's the usual playtime for a Kirby game. The Kirby games are not very long. But this game has held its price firm since its release, which really annoys me because I don't personally think it's worth that much money, because it's a very short game and it's a very easy and not really much to do game. As a multiplayer game, I could see there's a lot of replay value because you could play as different characters throughout the game. You could play as the friends like Marks and, well, quote-unquote friends, Marks, Maglor, etc., Susie, what have you. And Star Allies is a very pretty game. It runs pretty nicely on the Switch. The final boss, amazing. The final boss is the best part of the game. But up to that point, like, there's literally nothing keeping you from continuing on. Because it's stage by stage by stage. There's nothing collecting there. Sure, there's puzzle pieces, but those puzzle pieces come back. They're not like collectible MacGuffins. The puzzles do nothing. They're just there just to exist. I wish Star Allies had a collectible like the previous games that would unlock the true final boss, not just... I literally just rushed through the game, got to the final boss, and I got the true ending or whatever, what have you. But that's maybe not the point of the game. The point of the game is to play as the other characters and just sort of experience different playstyles with your friends. So this game is just kind of woefully average, honestly, and a bit overpriced for what it is. In my opinion, of course. So from September 17th to October 6th, I played the most current game in the Shenmue series, Shenmue 3, and I wallowed in everybody's disappointment towards the end. It's a good game, a very, very beautiful game. It still has the same sort of charm of Shenmue, of having the janky voice acting, but it's high quality now, being a very good looking game for its time. And finally continuing the story, even though the hashtag for the game creation was finish the fight. I got bad news for you. We gotta wait till Shenmue 4, which hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, it's a good game. There's still a lot to do in there. It's still Shenmue. It's just not Shenmue 1, which is pretty hard to top because I really love that game. It's also a very cheap game these days, and kind of the main sore spot is the fact that there's DLC for this game, but it was like botched horribly and not implemented correctly, so a lot of people had issues with that. So yeah, it was good. I look forward to Shenmue 4 whenever that happens. Hopefully I'll be alive in 50 years when it comes out. September 23rd, there was the second Nintendo Direct, which I'll have to look up real quick to see what was announced, because I don't remember. Yes. There was a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of controversial stuff, actually. So, Nintendo Direct for September, what was it? 20... I missed it. 22nd, yes. So, this Direct opens up with a trailer for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. I'm looking forward to this. I'm pretty sure, I think in this trailer they also said that it's coming to PC. They finally, first time, announced that Rise is coming to PC. Like, we've been knowing for a while. It was just never announced, and this is coming simultaneously. Sunbreak is coming simultaneously on Switch and PC. So I kind of cemented my decision to play Rise on PC and only get Sunbreak on PC. Maybe one day I'll get Sunbreak on Switch to play with people who have it on Switch, but it's gonna be really hard to go back to Switch Monster Hunter Rise. But yeah, we're starting off with a perfect 10 for a lot of people, just with that one announcement. Then afterwards, Kirby, what's it called? Kirby and the Forgotten Land. The first true 3D Kirby game that's in a very interesting setting. It's like sort of post-apocalyptic. It's about to be 70 pretty soon. I'm losing my brain cells and ability to talk. I've been talking for 2 hours, for Pete's sake. But yeah, this game looked really good. Looking forward to it. Can't wait. Playing it. I like how everybody, when we saw the trailer, people were telling me like, you thought you were done with the Kirby series, eh? I was hoping I wasn't. I like playing Kirby games. So I'm looking forward to that. The first bit of controversy, Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. Yeah, I still have not bought it. I was very excited for it. Actually no, there wasn't any controversy here at first because of the fact there wasn't any pricing. Pricing happened in a different direct. I don't remember if I streamed it or not. I'm not sure if it's in the list. I don't think it is. No, it's not. I think I saw it on my own free time. But yeah, people were excited at this point. But obviously, you know how things are now. People saying it's overpriced. The emulation is bad, and controllers are out of stock everywhere. I do still want to get a controller. It'll be hard to get one though. As for a fact, and I think stock does not return until next year. So we'll see. For Splatoon 3 stuff, I don't care about Splatoon. Bayonetta 3, finally shown gameplay of, and we have a date, I believe, finally. You can see here in the sort of pool that in the future of this year, I do play Bayonetta. Bayonetta 1 and 2, but at this point, I have not seen anything about Bayonetta. I know about the character because she's in Smash. I do know that I like Bayonetta. I like her design. She's very pleasing to look at, and seeing the fact that we actually have footage, some gameplay of Bayonetta 3 made me want to attempt the series at one point, and I've talked about those as I get there. Mario Party, Square Enix turn-based card game. Square Enix? Dragon's Isle. I don't think it's Square Enix. Edge Calamity. Chocobo Racing. I'm not sure. Did I come out already? Let me Chocobo GP. Let me check. Chocobo GP on Switch, or just kind of in general. The remake comes out March 10th, so I do want to try that. I forgot what console it's coming out, but this was a Nintendo Direct, so it'll be on Switch. So I'll see if it comes out on anything else. New Animal Crossing Direct happening. Which was pretty positive because that got me to play Animal Crossing again, and I bought the DLC, which I really want to come back to, which I could, but maybe another time. Let's see, Between Good and Evil, man. Dying Light, man. This is Triangle Strategy. Oh yeah, didn't change the name. Metroid Dread, another new trailer. I think I looked at it, not a whole ton because there was a lot of spoilers in it. Skull Elysium, or Elysium. Deltarune, Chapter 2 on Switch. Well, one day I get to those. And there's a lot of other things, but I talked about the big stuff already. So I put this direct, right? Oh, Sunbreak was in it, so slightly above. There was some controversial stuff again in here, but now that I've played all the Kirby games, now that I've played all the Bayonetta games, I'm looking a bit more forward to this. So we finally found a stretch of stuff to talk about, which I'm happy about. Talking for a long time. So October begins, and I decide to begin spooky games. So I started a couple days early, September 28th to October 5th. I start playing Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. I had promised I would do the DLC expansion around spooky times this year. It did, and this game is very short. The expansion was very short, but I was just happy to see John Marston again, in the flesh. And a good expansion. Now that the current game is Red Dead 2, I hope that game gets an expansion similar to it, but I doubt it since it has been a couple of years. And Rockstar lately isn't the Rockstar we love and know. So, it's a bit hard to talk about Red Dead Redemption because it's such a... Some people won't understand why I like it, because I know, because it's not like GTA in which you hop on a car and explore around. It's a lot slower, I suppose. But it's a very, well, the zombie game isn't very comfy, but it's a very entertaining game, I suppose. But a very funny, select crew of characters. I hope Red Dead 1 gets a remake or re-release or remaster, or gets a 60 FPS treatment or something. Just something, you know. Because Red Dead 1 is an absolutely amazing game. Had I done this for last year, Red Dead 1 would have been probably like an S tier, because I love that game so much. It's really good. So from October 7th to 12th, I played Berserk, the Millennium Falcon arc. Falcon. No, wait, Empire? Wasn't that? I forgot. Yeah, maybe wrong with how I read it here. But it was the PS2 Berserk game. And this game is probably one of the best Berserk games that there is, which is not really saying anything because there's not much. Combat gets a bit, well, the levels get a bit dull sometimes because of the amount of repeated enemies. But the boss battles are good. Difficulty spikes a lot towards the end. The music in the game is very good, and yeah, if you really want a solid Berserk game, it's for you. And Rip Maria. Actually, I played. I forgot to mention, I played the Dreamcast Berserk game, Sword of the Berserk. That's his Rage. Played that. I meant to save that for Halloween times, but I pushed it ahead upon hearing Almeria's demise, passing. Which is honestly a bit depressing, but I managed to pull it through, and I think playing the game made me forget about it a bit more and appreciate what Maria has done versus what he has left behind. I felt a bit redundant to say. Oh well. Yeah, this game's good. If you want a good Berserk game, fan of Berserk, fan of hack and slash or games, I would recommend this. The 3D is a lot better than Berserk 16-17, that's for sure. So continuing on with the spooky games, Lisa the Joyful, I played on October 8th, or uploaded VOD on October 8th. I promised to play Lisa the Painful on hard mode. At one point, did not find it fun to play that on hard mode, so I was like, okay, I haven't done Joyful, so I'll do that. And Joyful was pretty fun. It left me with more questions than answers towards the end, as seems to be the case with a lot of Lisa games. So, you know, if you're a fan of Lisa, if you're a fan of Earthbound inspired games, I'll recommend it. It's a bit not for everybody though. That's the thing about it. It's very gory, it's very dark, it's not for everybody. So you have to be in the correct mind space. You know, it's just a intriguing game. Intriguing sort of series of games, actually. So, on a whim, I played Bayonetta 1 and streamed that, uploaded VODs, starting October 11th to the 18th. And I played the Wii U version. I did not have the 1X like I do now, so had I waited, I would have gotten Bayonetta 1 on 360, and I know there's a 60 FPS enhancement for the 1X. So I would have done that, but playing on the Wii U was pretty good. I was pretty bad at it, still pretty bad at it, but now at least I know how to play the game versus back then. But it was still pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It's very raunchy at times. Probably the best way to describe it. But good story. It was a bit crazy, but that's just kind of Platinum games at times. So around this time, I actually got into PS1 soft modding, or modding kind of in general, and through that, I burned myself a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and through the RetroTink, I played this game. I love this game. It's a good game. Really loved enjoying it, and the first time I actually did 100%. Did I do 100%? Yeah, I'm pretty close to. At least the map, I think I did 100%. But I got the true ending in that game, and that was a pretty good feeling, even if the final stream of that got pretty long-winded. I like this game so much that I actually wrote a report on it, because last semester, the fall semester, I was in a game design course, so I wrote a entire report, a review on this game. So my brain's a bit fried to kind of relay all that stuff, but I think we could all agree it's probably one of the best games ever made. So starting around this time, we're taking a break from Black and White 2. Actually, did we take a break? I remember. Platinum there. October 3rd. Yeah, I think it was like a week or two break for Pokemon. Then we did the X and Y trialing. Oh yeah, this is when we did the Pokemon break, because the remake's coming out in November. So this actually is finished. This XY series is finished because we eventually lost in a gym. Just be how it do. This was special in the fact that instead of two people like it always is, we actually did 3, as in the name of Trialink. And this was the first time my friends, Ice Rover, streamed. So that was probably an eye-opening experience for him to experience while streaming, and having a layout and setting up game and all that fun stuff. So it was a good learning experience, and not just in the fact of stream, but just in the sort of fact of playing Pokemon in a different way, and just kind of remembered how forgettable 6th Gen is. It was still pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Okay, so finally, starting October 20th to the 27th, oh wait, I didn't actually put the X and Y somewhere. Brain is really frying. Put it there. Because of the fact it was fun to do Tri-Link, but even if it didn't get very close to the end, it was still fun. And yeah. But yeah, as I was saying, Metroid Dread. Oh, such a good game. I wish this game won Game of the Week, Game of the Year. My gosh, I can't talk. I'm losing brain cells. I know to some people this game was not the best. I'm sure these days this game is getting more flack than it is getting praise, like it did during the launch. That's just sort of the thing with some games. Games get very popular and then people start hating on it just because of the fact it's popular, or they actually had valid criticisms. Which for me would be sort of some of the forgettable areas and the music, or lack thereof. Music is a pretty big part of the Metroid series. Like you hear some themes and like, oh yeah, this is a part of Metroid. I can very easily tell if it's a Prime series track or an old Metroid game music, like Super Metroid or what have you. And Dread just did not really have that. It was more like ambience or sort of weird. I guess the main track you really remember is the Emmy chase theme. I know a lot of people had issues with the Emmys. I, for one, had issues sometimes. You die a lot in this game. Pretty sure like maybe an hour of my playthrough is just a death screen, because it is pretty easy to die in that game. But I had fun. The controls felt very good. First and only Metroid game I've 100%ed. I do wish to play more of the Metroid games on stream at one point. I know this series has had a lot of sore spots and a lot of dead periods, so maybe I'll do. I look forward to playing, like I said, AM2R and the re-release of Metroid 2, re-release remake on 3DS. Well, just one day. One day we get to that. So then afterwards, to sort of finish off the spooky month, at least for me, I played Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, starting October 21st to the 27th. Is that what it says? Let me double check. No, November 25th. Oh yeah, I would have finished this game a lot earlier, but as I went through the game, I fell more and more in love with it. I was pretty afraid to get into this game because of the fact there's a time limit. I know the time limit is very intimidating. It's actually not that bad. Actually, it's a good way of adding atmosphere to the game. It's a core part of this game. Majora's Mask would not be Majora's Mask without that time limit. And since I 100%ed it, I grew to absolutely adore this game. Between this and Twilight Princess, it is honestly pretty hard to choose which one I like more. Because I really like both of these games. Like, Twilight Princess is a perfect sequel to the adult Link in Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask is a perfect sequel for the Kid Link in Ocarina of Time. And I'm not sure that's intentional, but that's just sort of how it feels like. So from October 28th to November 4th, I did a revisit to PUBG. And it's fine. It's still PUBG, still the forefather of battle royales. It's a reason why it got so popular and where it is today. There is some good quality of life stuff that this game borrowed from newer battle royales, but it's still PUBG at heart. And there's some jank and unfairness and bots, and you know, it's still fun though. It's fun to play with friends. I wouldn't play it alone. Like most battle royales, it feels a bit depressing to do it alone. So, then my birthday, I did a 12-hour stream as I do every year, and for this year I decided to do Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. And I did the entire game in a single sitting, which I think I finished it within 12 hours? I think I don't have that much time. Actually, I may have went overtime. I don't remember. I love this game, so just gets S. Did my usual no pants low level run, and it was good. Actually did that off my childhood cartridge on my GameCube player. That was good. And then sort of a impulse, I did Crash Bandicoot 2 from the Insane Trilogy. Couldn't find a thumbnail for that, so I just have the Crash 2. Crash 2 is CB2. CBT? I like the first Crash game. I enjoyed it though. Even if getting 100% was really annoying. I'm not gonna do the time trials anytime soon though, that's for sure. Darn sure. And then pretty much for the most of the month of November, November 4th to the 26th, I revisited Animal Crossing for the 2.0 update with Brewster and the gyroids and all that. I know there's been extra updates since then, and Happy Home Academy. That's been pretty fun. It makes me wish that sort of thing was in a stock game, but I know people getting into the game now are very happy with all these updates, because this right now, as it is a full, complete Animal Crossing game. Although I do wish there was more dialogue. Still, the main sore spot for this new Animal Crossing for me. Everything becomes too robotic and too repeated too often, which really annoys me. I hope to revisit this game and New Leaf at one point. I need to finish those, quote unquote. So starting November 6th to the 13th, I played Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U. Really good game. Really improved on the combat system in Bayonetta 1. The story was a bit meh comparative to Bayonetta 1. But this is still the same silly Bayonetta and all the hijinks. It was still good. Makes me look forward to Bayonetta 3, and I'm happy that I'm caught up. Didn't take much at the very least, like the Kirby games, to get caught up. So yeah, gotta wait till 2022 for that. This is where everything kind of quickly evolves. This is towards the end. For the King Revisit, which I did from November 7th to the 28th, this was the game I mainly played on Saturdays with my friends instead of Soul Links. For the King is fun. I love this game. Tough on nails at times. I wish it was 4 players, but sometimes 3 players is easiest for my friend group, so I don't mind it in the slightest sometimes, you know. So, Mega Man Battle Network. I made a poll for people to vote on which series to start next. It was either Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest or Battle Network, which I put on there as a last minute meme, and it's actually the one people voted most for, which I was surprised about. So that was something. So I played Battle Network 1, probably get to the rest of the games next year, and this game is honestly a bit rough, but I can see how this game could be improved as the series goes on. It has a lot of good points, but there's a lot of like old retro RPG stuff in here, like you call it progressive. You talk to this one guy, and I try my best to talk to everybody, but sometimes, you know, I miss people. I make mistakes, and the net was really confusing at times. I tried to traverse, so lots of random encounters. If you saw my streams or recordings, that was the main thing I complained about. You know, how was that again? That was November 16th to the December 16th. No, December 6th. So that took a while because I had a break in between. I forgot what the break was. Oh yeah, it's because I think it is. Or because of Minecraft. Yeah, I think Minecraft pulped it. So Final Fantasy Adventure, which I did on a whim. I forgot why. It's because of Pokemon? I think it was because of Pokemon. I got Trials of Mana for cheap, so I played it, and I played Final Fantasy Adventure, which was the original Mana game. Because I played Adventures of Mana, the remake on Vita, and I wanted to play the original. So I played this via the Collection of Mana, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. So if you are a fan of action RPGs, play that. It's sort of a Zelda-like as well. The dungeons and all that. There's some parts that have not aged very well, but still a very good game. And if you want to see where it all began, I'll suggest playing that game. But if you're not very good with sort of these retro games, then remakes also suffice pretty well, because they have maps and good stuff in there, better maps I suppose. So here are all the present games pretty much, I'm pretty sure. Mario Party Superstars, probably the best Mario Party there is these days, which has really, surprisingly, really good online. The main caveat is the fact that there's very little characters and maps the boards play on. I wish there was more. So I hope in the future, even if it's like paid DLC, I'll pay for more maps. I'd pay for more boards and characters. It just feels a bit empty. Well, the boards feel empty. The board selection, it feels empty. The mini games, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of mini games. There's still a lot I've not even played once. So it's a fun game to play online with friends. And the online, like I said, surprisingly very good. I play on Wi-Fi. All my friends played on Wi-Fi. We had 0 issues throughout. In fact, we had more issues with Scott Pilgrim that I played, I guess at this point yesterday, so, you know. So that'll be continuing to the present. Minecraft Feed the Beast Endeavor, just started November 27th, and it's still going up to now. And, this is not as good as Revelation so far for me. I felt like Revelation had a lot of good stuff in here, but it has the potential, because I have not gone through all the mods, it has potential to be very good. It is, you know, a sequel to Revelation in a sense. So I look forward to seeing what else I could do. I spent like a couple weeks on it, and there's still a lot of things to do, which I'm pretty happy with. Taking it a bit slow compared to Revelation. Revelation, I lived Revelation for a couple weeks, which is why I burnt out on it so fast. Endeavor, on the other hand, I'm going pretty slow. After like a good hard, like a week and a half or whatever it was, waiting for people to go on break to play the game. So I'm happy I did that, because it makes me look forward to playing it every time I do. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, which I started December 1st. I got this game on launch, when it launched, and I didn't start until December 1st, because I wanted to finish some other games beforehand. I didn't want Minecraft to pulp it, so I waited a bit until I was like, okay, time to take a break from Minecraft so I could play other games, and that is what I did. So the remake, it's pretty alright. I know a lot of people have been upset, saying it's not a Planet remake, but it's literally Diamond and Pearl remake from top to bottom. People weren't a fan of the art style. I personally wasn't really that offended or appalled by it. I was pretty fan with it because it reminded me of how the art style they were going for with the pixel stuff, but people argued that wasn't what they wanted. I don't know. Pokemon fans are rabid creatures. Don't trust them. They want things just to hate on them. It appears. So December 8th, I did a one-off full sit-down of Kirby Canvas Curse. This game is really good. Music is awesome. Just at the final boss is like literally the best part of the game. Honestly, it's a very short game. You can finish it in like 3 hours. Just at the final boss is pretty tough. So, even though I watched a final boss video, and I learned that you could attack it in some other forms that would have saved me a lot of time. I was doing things the hard way. Of course I did. The Game Awards showed, let's see, that was on December 10th, that I uploaded it, and it showed, I was playing Minecraft during the time. The only interesting thing was Rise. It was more Sunbreak stuff, honestly. I don't remember anything else. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Remake was shown on EGS, so... yeah. My first impressions of Red Dead 2 is that I'm going to really like it. I've been loving it so far. I look forward to every time I play it, and I look forward to the next time I get a chance to play it. So, I get very easily sucked in. I think I literally, like, last time I played was like 4 hours, so... I wanted to play more of it. So... guess we'll see when I get a chance to do that again. I started Red Dead 2 December 13th, and so going on to the present. Far Cry 4 I bought around Black Friday, Cyber Monday, for like, what was it, $6-8? It's very cheap. Started that December 6th with a friend, with Biggie, after Far Cry 5's completion. I said I wouldn't mind playing the previous games, and he had said that if Far Cry 4 goes on sale, that we should buy it and should experience that. Since again, he lived and breathed this game for like a summer, so he has seen the ins and outs of it. So the only new factor of it is just the fact that it's on PC. Where do I have 5? I put it right there, 'cause that's my first impressions of it. I like 5 a bit more. Oh yeah, I like 5 a bit more, just for the setting and familiarity with it so far. But 4 has the potential of being better. Who knows? We'll see. Back 4 Blood full release. These 2 last games were attempted through the Game Pass, since it was $1 for 3 months, so I was finally peer pressured into buying it or subbing for the 3 months. And Back 4 Blood from the demo is, you know, I was expecting a bit more changes here and there, which we did get. I think some difficulty was changed, but the trauma system was probably the biggest sore spot. I don't really like it. I don't like that system at all. I don't like the fact that some random runs could be easier or harder because of the cards, because of the play cards, whatever they're called. The card should be an extra. It shouldn't be something that you live or die from. Like, again, that's the main gimmick of Back 4 Blood, but it's just the biggest sore spot, and it's the thing there's kind of like sitting on, which really makes things difficult for me to continue playing it, my friends, because it's kind of like, oh well, we just got this card, guess we just can't progress, because it's just way too randomly too hard. And finally, Sea of Thieves, which we started the day afterwards on December 22nd. This game is very beautiful looking. I'm not sure they changed how easy it is to connect to multiplayer, but when I did it, it wasn't that bad. I know when Vinny played it, that's how the Windows G meme became a thing. And now it's really just invite friend, direct box, and boom, that's it. The water is very beautiful, of course. That's the thing. Everybody, you have to mention it. When you talk about Sea of Thieves, you gotta mention the water. It looks good. But literally the second day we played it. Actually, no, the first day we played it, we just messed around and barely did any of the game. That was probably the funnest part about it. The actual game itself, I don't know. I can't really comment on it because I haven't really done that much of it. I know my friends didn't really find it enjoyable. They found it pretty boring. outside of the shenanigans we got into, but I still really liked it. I liked the game. I liked the idea of sailing as a crew, and I hope to play more of it at one point. So that's my tier list. That's everything that I've done this year. My throat is very sore from talking for about nearly 3 hours in total. I don't know how people do it for 8 sometimes. Ugh. It's the reason why I stay quiet sometimes. It saves my voice. So here's hoping, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna have so many voice cracks. Oh boy. But as cars pass by, I'll bid you guys adieu. And hopefully you enjoyed seeing my brain process slowly melt as it goes from 4 in the morning to 7, pretty much. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.